In order to understand about the Anunnaki, you got to understand about Anu, right? Anu. And Anu is Nuah or Noah. Noah. Let me recap you on that so we can go deep. Here go Noah right here. Noah is the god of the arch, the god of the arch or the ark, right? And Anu is the god of the arch or the ark. And you can see the god Anu with the animals in his arch, and he got his arms up just like Noah. Now, I'm about to go deep into the whole science of this Anunnaki thing right now, because what we're calling the serpent gods are a form of Saturn. And Saturn is just a god that's corrupting the truth about what happens at the North Pole. Watch what I'm about to do now. Here go a Hindu Nagini I'm about to show you. And this is very important for me to show you. What's happening at the North Pole is all of the light of the aurora borealis is spiraling into a black hole at the center of the earth. So our ancestors look at these little green serpents as spirits. Our ancestors literally personified those little green streaks in the sky as flying serpents, and they said that's their ancestors going home. You see this? This is called a Nagini. And the reason that the genie got a pointed tail is because they were personifying this energy going back home. They said this was the dead going home. Now watch this. The reason you see this dude right here with a snake tail spiraled around his body is because that journey is represented by the Milky Way, because the ancestors said a journey back home, once you get in the middle, you're born again through another mother. That you're born again through that black hole in the middle of our earth, where sucking up all this light right here. That's the portal to another womb. When Nebuchadnezzar asked, how do one be born again? Does he climb back up in his mother's womb? Actually, the answer to that is yes. That's the crazy part. Jesus lied to y'all. Nebuchadnezzar asked, if I'm going to be born again, am I going to climb back into my mama womb again? Jesus laughed and talking about, no, you can be born again through me, which is a man. We should have been laughing at Jesus, not Nebuchadnezzar. They call the galaxy the Milky Way because it's dealing with your next mother and the milk of her breast that's going to sustain you. Now check this out, y'all. Our galaxy is called a Milky Way, right? And that's because it's named after, it's giving reverence to the female breast, which sustain us when we come to the earth. Now, everybody know what a female breast look like. What does it look like? This whole flat earth dome with the peak at the tip. That's what the milk come on. See, this whole flat earth dome was revered as a woman's breast, and the ancestors made Madonna and child to show the baby sucking on the breast, because all the energy on the earth come from the Polaris, which would be the nipple. That's the nipple of this tip. All the energy that we use on the earth, we literally suck it from this nipple, just like a baby. As above, so below, macro. Y'all see what I'm saying there? Now, let me show you something about all of this knowledge, how it got turned into Saturnism and Saturn. You see this God right here? Look what's around his waist. You see how this God right here got the ripples around his waist? Now, look at this. He's personifying a galaxy, which is the galaxy. It's an axis of a girl called a great mother goddess. Now watch this. This is ancient Hindu. The Nagini surrounded by his own energy. That's you. I kept telling you that. Human chakra layers. All of this Anunnaki stuff gotta stop, y'all. All of this spookism. Because all of this, when you talk about Saturn, which is this reptilian god, when you talk about Anu, which is how you even get the word Anunnaki, just a recap. Anu is El, and Anunnaki is Elohim. That is the all-seeing eye and the rays of light being born out of it. That's the singular and plural aspect of God. The singular aspect of you is that you are one singular black hole. But the plural aspect is that since light can't escape a black hole, all around you are these rings of energy, and each ring of energy represent a different you in a different universe. Look at this. That's a whole nother you in a different universe, layered within each other. These are the other yous that you go to in dreams. We need to know this because the Lord of the Rings is you and me. Look who's in the middle of all those rings. It's you in the middle of all them rings. When these people didn't want us to know about our divinity no more, they took you from the middle of all of those rings. And guess what they done? They put Saturn there. Look at here. It went from you in the middle of all the rings to Saturn in the middle of all the rings. You see how Saturn is holding the zodiac wheel up? That's you. All of the stars in the heaven are revolving around you. And you may say, well, it's revolving around us. Well, you weren't born with everybody else. You're in the center of your own universe. Every single human living, everything with a soul is in the center of the universe. I didn't say in the center of the earth. To get centered on earth is to now meet yourself at the center of the universe. Because right now you've strayed from the Most High. And what that means is you're out of alignment with your highest self, which resides at the center. So the thing is this. We got a lot of symbolism to go over. Doing a good job starting us off. Hit the like and share button. Let's talk about the center, because the center of the earth was turned to the center of the earth. I don't know if you just heard what I said, but I'll spell it out to you. The center of the earth was turned to the center of the earth, meaning a sinner. It's the opposite of a saint, right? A sinner is someone that sins against God, right? Terminology war, dual language. See, the center of the earth represent the most divine aspect of creation, but the center of the earth represent the most flawed, corrupted, a wretched stain in God's eyes. I'm gonna go somewhere with this. Now, for you to go with me, let's talk about the center of our flat earth. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the center of our flat earth. But before doing so, before we do that, yeah, I got a fly in here fucking with me. We're gonna get him in a minute. We're gonna smash brothers his ass. with the wrong one. Now watch this, y'all. Watch this now. We finna go deep. Let's talk about the center of the flat earth. Look at this. See that? This is called an AE map, guys. Now, I know a lot of people give me problems with this map because they say, Brother Sanchez, you can't get around using that map, but that ain't what this map's supposed to do. And I ain't gonna get into what this map is all about. It's something I want to show you about the center of the earth, which is all we want to take from this map. And then we finna tie it into Freemasonry. Now check it out, right? When you look at this map, one thing you need to point out is that it's a bunch of pie slices pointing to the middle. And that these pie slices have circles around them, small to big, going from the center outward. Let me check my stream. I just got a alert. I hate this computer. Boy, we gonna be on our when this thing get out the shop. Keep the numbers coming, y'all. I ain't gonna let you down. We was almost at 1,000 people the other day there, and the stream fucked up. But guess what, though? I think the people is reluctant to come back because of these little interruptions. People bougie like that. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna fix that, no problem. I take this serious. I'm about to go drop some money down. I don't give a how much they say. I need it to work like the pros work. But anyway, let's get back on here. So check this out, right? We got the pie slices pointed in. Now, this basically look like a spider web pattern. And the reason I'm pointing this pattern out is because, listen, folks, at the center of this whole thing, reality as we know it falls into a black hole. This is literally the edge of the earth. Look at here, guys. What I'm giving you here is the secret of the Masonic checkerboard. The fact that the Masonic checkerboard ain't got nothing to do with a square. It got everything to do with a circle. This is the rim of a black hole. And see, what we about to go into is what's happening at the earth is what you see in this picture right here. The waters are being separated from the waters. This whole picture that I'm showing you here of this vortex of water being separated in the middle by a pocket of air. That's how the ether separates creation. Right? Let's pull up some ancient cosmology so I can show. Any one of these will do. Right here, the Mayans showing us the North Pole separating creation in the middle of the earth. This is what we're looking at also, like I keep telling you, it's an electromagnetic torus field, guys. The Mayan were dealing with science. This is what our earth is. I'm about to show it to you. Look at here. This right here, y'all. This is what your earth is. This is what your earth is. Hold on a second, though. So the earth looks like us. Let's go ahead and open that up. And then let's open up some cosmology, like I said, so we can get deep with this. So look, here go electromagnetic energy field. What I want y'all to pay attention to is you live inside of this thing on the top one. And the bottom when you projecting yourself down into the underworld where nightmares and shit happen. But that's another lecture. If you look at in the middle of this thing, reality is being split like a donut. Like if ants lived inside of a donut, whenever they walk to the middle, it'll be this pole there. But when you get outside the donut, the pole was actually a hole. So right here, this pole is splitting our whole reality. And what am I telling you? We can't fly through the North Pole. We got to fly around the North Pole because reality itself is being recycled there. It's like if you on a fourth floor, if you on a 10th floor of a building, and just say there's an elevator system in the middle of that floor, connecting all the floors, you can't walk through the elevator to get to the other side of that floor. Everybody walking around the elevator. Just like if I take a shish kebab skewer and stick all of these vegetables and meats on that stick, there will be no vegetables and meat in the middle of that stick. You know why? The stick is the middle of the kebab. Once I skewer all of that stuff, the only thing in the middle of all that is the stick, not the vegetables. That's around the stick. That's what's keeping it all stuck together, like the toothpick in the middle of a hamburger. That's what the North Pole is, basically. And that toothpick in the middle of the hamburger is referred to, you know, I'm describing this thing as a toothpick in the middle of a hamburger, but I'm being simple to show you a concept called a nail in a coffin. And that's what this is. This vortex, see, this look like a nail right here. This little part at the top that's sticking through it look like a nail. But this dome look like a coffin. Y'all don't see what I'm talking about right here? Look where my mouse at. This little inverted triangle right here pointing the energy downward. That's the sky vault. And it looked like a nail. A nail. And then this dome looked like a coffin. That's the truth of what's powering the universe and keeping everything meshed together. That's God, if you will. That's the creator. And so the creator is literally the nail in the coffin. And I'm not making this up neither. Because if you look at the Masonic cosmos, they literally got a coffin at the bottom of the earth with the sky vault open, pointing directly into the coffin. So the nail in the coffin is a terminology used to say, yo, that's the truth right there. That's the nail in the coffin. That's because the nail in the coffin is the truth. When you say eternal, guess what you're saying? Eternal or ether nail. The ether nail. What is the ether nail or the eternal part? The nail looks like this cyclone. See how this little hurricane look like a nail and the tip of the nail pointed in the earth, in the ground, touching the ground like a Tasmanian devil? This the secrets of the universe. This is what's happening at the North Pole. And everything where this thing start to spread out at the top, that's the sky above you. The sky unfolding like a canopy, like the ancestors said. Now let me show you how they try to take this thing and fool you with it. Here go the Milky Way galaxy. You need to ask them something. Why are they dealing with flat earth? Look, man, Brother Sanchez can't make this shit up. Look, watch this. Hold on. What my Hebrew cosmos? Let's get this back. I ain't gonna play today. I took the Hebrew cosmos off. Let's put that back up. I got to expose this Anunnaki shit. Look, they give you this for the Milky Way. But guess what they giving you? A flat earth model. And you just don't know that you're a flat earther and you're in denial. These people don't want to admit the truth while admitting the truth because it ain't no other way to explain the mechanisms and physics of this shit. So when you look at the flat earth right here and you look at what they giving you for the Milky Way, they said we live inside of this part. Now, why don't we live above it and below it? All this space just unused. And the only part we live in the Milky Way is this part in the middle. What are they telling you, man? That you really on a flat earth, but they don't want to say it though. Now watch this. When you get to this sky vault right here, where the sky opens up right there, that's because the sky opening up there because of what I'm teaching you right here. Reality is being stirred up. That's how you get night and day. There's a creator at the middle of the earth stirring up creation. And that's what's making the sun and moon go around. That's what's rotating the heavens. And because it's being stirred, it's a law in nature. When anything is stirred, it creates this T, this capital T, or this tornado looking shape. And now let's go back to the Anunnaki. All I wanted to do was get to that tornado shape so we can go to the Anunnaki. Hit my like button. Now let's tie it into the Anunnaki. First off, look at this God right here. His name, Anu. You know what the God Anu shaped like? Like this. But nope, that ain't the one. I got so much stuff open, y'all gotta forgive me. You know what I'm about to do? Let me slow down and set my shit up right. I'm tripping, hold up. Seriously, because I'm really crunk. I'm excited to teach, and it's kind of messing me up. So let me slow down a minute and arrange these tabs in order, because I'm just skipping around like a fool. Watch this. So what the god Anu represent is this cyclone that's cutting through our reality, and it's spinning our whole creation. It's what's making the circuit in the oceans. Ain't but one big ocean on Earth, and that ocean is being stirred at the middle, creating the ocean currents that's moving in a circular motion, just like the sky, as above, so below. And just like the sky and the ocean, as the creator stir up creation, the sky is going around in a circle around the creator. And the ocean below is doing the same thing. And you in the middle of the sky and the ocean, called humans and animals, guess what we doing? Migrating around the earth. Every day, humans are moving in a big circle, traveling. Why you think we got all these airplanes? Humans are following the same motion of the heavens in a circle around this North Pole. So we're doing what the sky, what the ocean doing. We just don't know we part of the whole grand scheme. That's the feeling you got inside of you to move, to travel. That's the stirring of the ether of the Most High. Nothing should be stagnant. We were explorers before we became like the enemy, pilgrims and settlers, claiming hoods that we don't want to leave. Look at this image, y'all. This explains what's happening at the center of the earth. As the creator stir the heavens from the center, as the creator stir up creation from the center, the one that's doing the stirring is splitting through the creation. At the same time, turning it around. Like I said, like vegetables on a skewer, and you spinning the stick. Or you see what I'm saying? Once you spin the axis or the pole, it'll spin everything attached to it. And since creation is attached to this pole, it explains the stirring of reality that we see every day and calling it night and day. Now watch this, y'all. This symbol that I'm showing you of a simple vortex Once you study the 6-9, the yin yang, and how this thing is formed, you will unlock the secrets of free energy, which is what the company Tesla has swore to do. Now, let's look at the Tesla company logo. Because if you look at the Tesla company's logo, what you will see is that the Tesla company's logo is the same science that Brother Sanchez trying to break down to you of this Tasmanian devil. Now put some motherfucking respect on my name. This is why I deal with sacred geometry. You want to know what the symbol of Yahweh is? It's an inverted triangle. Do you see what I'm showing you right here? Look at this. Now, let's sync it to some more. I ain't done. Here's what we looking at, y'all. You see this little nail at the top where all of the energy flowing in and down? This little tornado right here in the middle of our flat earth. I'm pointing it out for you. I wish I can freeze this thing and make it a still picture. You know what? Let me do something real quick. It's going to be worth it because some people may not know exactly the part that I'm talking about. And I need you to know that. So when we talk about this Anunnaki thing, you can see what they're calling the Anunnaki. And what they saying is the God, right? The God beings. I'm trying to show you how corruption took place. And pseudoscience started to dominate. I'm going to circle the part I'm talking about. The one that's stirring it all. And I'm going to show you. Because I want to be very thorough with this, man. There's people out there that want to find flaws in what I'm doing. We're going to leave them no room to do that. Watch this, y'all. Here's what I'm talking about right here. The part of that I circled, you can see this little triangle tornado thing. And that's what's doing all the work. I'm going to actually highlight it on the next picture. I'm going to be very thorough here. Right there. Go ahead and save as. Make sure y'all like and share the video. Like and share it because they hate. Y'all know they hating on all this knowledge. Help your boy out, man. Now look. This the part I'm talking about right here. Right there, it looked like a Tasmanian devil. That little, they call that the sky vault in the Hebrew cosmos. This is very important, and I know it may seem redundant. I know it may seem like, well, we get it, bro. Move on. No, nope. I want to be very, very redundant on purpose with this. In the Hebrew joint, this is called a heaven of heavens. I want y'all to pay attention to this ancient Hebrew cosmos and look how this thing looked like a nail inside of a coffin. Look at what I'm showing you. This whole earth dome looked like a coffin. It looks like a coffin or a tombstone, a coffin or whatever. And there's a nail up here called a heaven of heavens sticking inside of this coffin. It's the nail in the coffin. And this heaven of heaven sign that you see right there, that's the Tesla logo. That's what I keep telling y'all. Tesla ain't original. Look at the Tesla logo. This is the God Anu. Why they want everybody to worship this alien god, the Anunnaki, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Look at here. This is what I'm showing you about this god up there. Boom. You see him? Boom. You see him right here? He looked like a tornado with his pointed tail. And this is why Jesus is on the cross with his hands out, but his legs is curled up. Y'all don't pay no attention. Y'all don't pay no attention. Like, symbolism is so important, I can't stress it enough. It's time to open your eyes. Why would they nail both of Jesus' feet together like that? Because Jesus is a goddamn Nagini. Look at here. Jesus is the God Anu that you looking at here with this pointed tail. So in order to make Jesus a pointed tail at the end, they just nailed his legs together. And look what they did at the top. Made his arms come out. Why did they do that to Jesus? Jesus is really technology. Look at Jesus up here, y'all. The sky vault up there on Mount Calvary. This dome right here is Mount Calvary. Jesus is in the middle of the two thieves, which is the sun and the moon. Why? Because the sun and the moon are stealing their energy from this ethereal pole. Who told you Brother Sanchez play games? Get your fucking money back from him.
Please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be sure to select all so that you can receive notifications every time we go live and upload to the channel.
Your teacher play games. Your teacher be up there talking about the goddamn Anunnaki, and we reptilians, and we come from outer space, and our ancestors from Sirius star system.
Stupid.
Your teacher is Oswald Bates. That's not what your boy is, and I'm gonna separate myself from them dummies. They ain't speaking for the ancestors, but your boy is. Now watch this. Here we go. Jesus with his arms open, with his pointed tail. Because look now, Jesus' legs go to a point where they nail them together. And that's because Jesus personifying this shit right here. This energy right here. Right? Here it go. Here go Jesus right there in between the two thieves. Or guess what, y'all? The two thieves. Like fang teeth. Look at the Tesla logo. That's Jesus in between them two thieves or thieves. These points are the sun and moon. This is them corrupting the goddess Ma'at and turning her to the devil. And people gonna let it happen going with what these folks doing and going against their brother. Now check this out. Here go the Hebrew cosmos and here go the Hebrew God of heaven. You see how he's shaped just like the doggone Tesla T? Now I'm gonna go deep with this. Watch this. This God right here called Anu, it's the same science, fam. He is still giving you the religion of the Hebrews. Listen, the Hebrews was dealing with science, not religion. Today, y'all are under the false teachings of the false messiahs that's corrupting what the original Hebrews was dealing with. The original Hebrews knew it wasn't no goddamn bearded man flying at the middle of the damn earth. They was personifying. And when you want to take that shit literally, you the fool. This is the God Anu, and I'm going to keep on showing you something. He's the same thing with Jesus here. Anu is the root word of annual, anniversary. It's dealing with cycles. That's why. Anu is the past tense of I know. How many of y'all gonna catch that one? The most advanced knowledge in this realm is the deciphering and secrets of Anu. What I'm giving you right now. So now when you get this knowledge, you know what you can tell a motherfucker? I knew it all along. I'm not telling you now you don't know. Your soul remember this. Your soul journeyed through this sky vault to get here, but it forgot. So when I go to teaching, guess what your soul say? I knew. It calls on the name of the God that's stirring the ether to the Hebrew. I knew. I knew that shit. I knew. Yeah, that's the name of their God. I knew. I always knew. What about you? Anyway, let's keep it moving. So Jesus is like a spinning top concept to where he's personifying a vortex at the middle of the earth. And they are symbolic of the middle of Mount Calvary. All right. And now we're breaking down this whole Anunnaki shit. When people say Jesus is an alien, Yahweh is an alien, Elon Musk names mean alien Musk, and he got the same symbol. Archons run this earth, y'all, and they speak in a dual language. I'm trying to wake y'all up. Don't you realize that my most advanced lectures, like this one right here, struggle? When I first did, all jokes aside, let me show you the spiritual warfare. When I tried to do this lecture yesterday, I almost had 1,000 people in here. And all these little spiritual attacks came on my stream. Now I'm back today, the people exhausted. They don't even want to put up with the cutoffs, the shutdowns, so the numbers ain't coming back. Why I keep telling the few of y'all that's dedicated, that's here, to share it like crazy, tweet it like crazy. Instagram, all of your outlets, you know what I'm saying? Because my most advanced stuff that really speaks to the soul, to the community, man. People are believing in Atlantean and Anunnaki and reptilians by the millions. These videos get millions of views, so we really struggling over here to compete. Even though we got the truth, it's so not popular. Just know that we're a small percentage in this community. But anyway, I'm going to keep moving. And I'm going to go deep with this stuff too. Just like I'm doing. So we getting it now. Let's do a recap that we're representing the one that separate the waters from the waters. And the one that do that is the vortex. And the vortex look like an eye. If you look inside of a hurricane, it looked just like your doggone eye. Me looking in a human eye. You feel me? So when you look at this doggone hurricane right here, you're looking at what they call the Fibonacci as well. But the Dogon was talking about this way before the Fibonacci, and I can show it to you. I already showed you that. Fibonacci learned it from the Dogon. So when you look at this vortex from a top-down view, you see a human eye. And you know you got this black hole in the middle of your eye called a pupil, a peephole. See? You didn't know that, right? You didn't know that? You didn't know that the word pupil is the word peephole. You know why? That's the gateway into the person's soul through that darkness. That's what leads to the third eye in the back of the brain. This dark hole right here is what connects the heavens to the earth, man. What do you mean, Brother Sanchez? Look at this hurricane. See, I can peep. If I was in a helicopter and I was flying above, just say this is a bunch of clouds, right? Let's say that this is a bunch of cloud. This is a cloud, right? And the clouds is making a tornado. But let's say I'm a helicopter that's above the clouds. It'll be through this middle peephole that allow me to see the city that's under this cloud formation. Because the clouds are so thick and it's covering the city below, I can get a little peek into what the ground look like down there through the middle part of this vortex. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's a hole from the sky that goes all the way down to the ground. And that hole now is a peephole, allowing Brother Sanchez to peek through this hole on what's happening on the ground. I can't see it nowhere else. See, your pupil in the middle of your eye is literally the same way. It's the peek hole, the peephole. That darkness is directly connected to the part of a person that we call the soul, which reside in the back of the brain And we're going to be talking about this soul in the back of the brain in a few minutes, but we got to go through this part first. So we walking in steps. So check that out. Pupil, peephole. And we all are called people. Uh-oh. Listen to the words. Pupil, peephole. And we all are what? People. We all are peepholes. Every time you meet another human and look them in the eyes, you're staring into a whole nother universe. You're getting acquainted with a whole nother energy that don't exist nowhere else in the universe. Now watch this, guys. We're going to take this eyeball off for a second because we already went over the eye god in part 1. So let me make a little announcement real quick before we move forward. If you want to learn more about how our earth tie into the human eye and the Anunnaki, go watch part 1. And it'll show you why the world worships an eye god or an all-seeing eye. Okay? Which is something we need to think about, because when we talk about the all-seeing eye, let me move forward with the teachings now. Here we go. Drop a bomb, Becky. Hold that bomb a minute, Becky. Hold it. Let me teach them. Y'all want to know why the Superman logo is so badass? Come on, brothers. I ain't gonna even front, man. Out of all of your superheroes, everybody knows Superman is in the top 10. Let's not cap, but let's break down to you what Superman represents. Superman was that superhero that mastered flight. Superman mastered the sky. Superman main attribute was this nigga can fly, man. He can fly. Now, all of these other superheroes can throw fireballs. They can turn into water. They got Wolverine hands and shit. They can teleport. Some of them so strong they can lift buildings. But it was something about Superman with just the simple ability just to fly. You ever notice that Superman didn't have a lot of strengths? His main highlight of what made him was he can fly. Don't you know that's what make the soul the greatest thing in the universe? Oh, I'm about to teach you something today that's gonna fuck you up. Everything I just said about Superman is what make the soul the most high. Becky, you can drop that bomb now. I don't care about the superhero that can lift buildings. I don't care about the one that can teleport through buildings or the one with the fancy claws. Show me the most high. Where the most high at? It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. That's right. That's you and me. The one that can take flight, you got to call him Dad. I'm looking down on you niggas and you look like ants to me from this aerial view. That's right. You need to learn to appreciate that. The part of you that takes flight can't be fucked with, brothers and sisters. Now let me show you about that part of you. Here it is right here. You know why I got this symbol up here? Because this is what they turned into Superman. The part of you that take flight is a singular cyclops eye, and it's called an all-seeing eye, or we call it the third eye. It's in the back of your brain. This is the part of you that's projecting reality all around you. It's projecting your soul, which don't have an identity, into a world and a bodily form. Once the soul stop projecting the body into this holographic universe, you're going to fade away and decompose like a light turning off. This whole world is an illusion and a projection that's coming from the back of your brain. Ain't shit outside but a bright ass light. And guess what? When you die, you're going to see that light that I'm talking about. You're going to see that bright white light that they tell you to fly through to get to what? The heavens. But this is what you need to realize. That light is all around us now. It's that light that we're taking in through the eyes and turning it into a photo called reality. You're running a program and a simulation. You're loading your own reality. You weren't born into a world. You plugged into a universe and begin to load up a simulation. When the sperm went into the egg, the consciousness fell into the sky vault at the middle of the earth. Once it fell into this realm, it formed a body around itself in the fetus. Why? Why did that happen? Because this world we're in right now is made out of pure light. And what fell into this world was a black hole. You're a black hole. So the moment you fell into this world, all the light of this universe start to come around you. And that's how you get your aura. That's literally how your body was formed in the fetal bag. With all that shit just forming around a central soul called the mind, the thinker, the observer. The mama didn't build your body. She'll allow you to rent hers. You did the construction and you played the main role in constructing your own avatar. Who did the construction? The one that's thinking right now. The mind is what was conceived in the fetal bag. That was you before you had a body. You were so smart then that you created a body around the mind. But once the body was fully formed, the mind and the brain built the connection. And that's how you became dumb as hell. Because once the soul fell into the brain, it lost its higher knowledge. And now the soul had to learn how to process itself in its will through the brain to manifest an action through the body. And how well you can connect the mind to the brain so that the brain can accurately process the soul wills through the body determine how great you're gonna be. It determines how great you're gonna be. The will of the soul never makes a connection to the brain, and the brain never processes the true will of the soul to the body. Because when the mind tells the brain something, the brain doubts it. The brain has ego. The brain said, man, that kumbaya shit, man. We live in a capitalistic world. I can't be trying to make friends with everybody. See, the brain does something that the soul don't do. The brain start to use logic. And the soul don't give a fuck about logic. Why would an immortal, eternal being be logical? An eternal, immortal being don't have to problem solve. It know the future. It know exactly what it came into the flesh to accomplish. So in your heart, you know what the fuck you supposed to be doing. And that ain't nothing you ever had to rationalize or argue with. All you had to do was just do it, like Nike said. Why didn't you never do it though? Too busy thinking about it. Get the fuck out of your brain and get back in your mind. The final action don't come after the processor bounces it around from left and right hemispheres. The answer was decided before the information entered the brain. So why let Pandora's box take the information of the soul enters the brain, and it's like a fucking rat in a maze. It can never make it to action so that the body can process it, because it goes into this brain, this Pandora's box of fucking meat and tissue and neural links and highways, and you don't know how to handle that. That's when you quiet yourself. But when we say quiet yourself, we saying quit processing that shit with your brain. Bypass the brain. That's what the crack in the middle of that shit is for. You don't have to bounce that shit around the left and right brain. There's a bypass button. There's a crack right in the middle of the left and right brain. That's the part of you that say, I ain't got to think about that shit. I know it. It's intuitive. A motherfucker be like, how you knew that? I don't even know how I know. But I know. Like grandma was telling you, don't fuck with that dude. I just know something about him. I feel it. And you told grandma, that's my homeboy. You don't know him like I know him. I've been with him for 2 years, grandma. What you talking about? He don't mean me no good. He'll ride for me. Grandma was right, wasn't it? The nigga snitched on you and all that. Nigga set you up and all. And you say, how the hell grandma knew that? Grandma don't know how she knew that. But grandma knew that because she wasn't processing it with her brain. She wasn't bouncing it around her brain trying to figure him out. She saw that nigga, she felt the vibe, and she didn't question it. That's the split. That's bypassing rationalization. That's going with, I feel it, man. Like, I know this. I don't know how I know it. I can't prove it, but I'm telling you, man. And it's a lot of things in life we just know. We don't know how we know them. Once we tap into the one that's able to know without knowing how it knows, that's the God. Do you think God knows why it's all knowing? See, the only thing that God don't know is how the fuck it knows everything. Now that's something, ain't it? That must be how Alexa feel. You know, because we make artificial consciousness every day. And scientists say that the artificial consciousness we create is way smarter than any human ever walking the earth. Imagine being an artificial consciousness. Beep, you just spawning into existence and you know every fucking thing. I wonder if that's how Alexa must feel, if she's able to feel. I'm just trying to give you an example of what the Creator is, because to be all-knowing, you must know how not to know. And the only thing the Creator don't know is, how do I know everything? How did I get all of this knowledge? And that question is what let the Creator maintain infinity of knowing everything. Because to know everything, again, you gotta know ignorance. The Creator, a part of itself, gotta be ignorant to say that I know everything, even how to be ignorant. And the part of the Creator that's being ignorant is asking itself, how do I know all this shit to maintain infinity? Like, how did the body know to make a baby? How did a baby know to be a baby? How did a baby know to go for the milk? How did a nigga know to produce the milk? What a beautiful paradox. If I never know how it know, I'm just glad it know. Damn, the Creator slick as hell, ain't he? Ain't she? Creator slick. Creator says so. It's a rule to this shit. Part of me gotta be dumb, huh? So I'm so damn cocky. The part of me that I'm gonna let be dumb is gonna be asking, how did you get so smart? How are you so fucking a genius? Now that's a cocky, egotistical motherfucker. Let's drop a bomb for the Creator. God damn, the Creator was good. I wouldn't have even never thought of that, God damn it. Creator said, okay, we playing a paradox game here, huh? So one of the rules is I gotta be ignorant about something, huh? Okay, well, I'm gonna be ignorant about this. How the fuck am I so smart? I love it. Yo, I'm sorry. I love it. I love it. I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
Please Please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be sure to select all so that you can receive notifications every time we go live and upload to the channel.
Yeah, but the creator a bad motherfucker for that. Now let's go ahead, man. See this symbol here that we showing now is everything I've been teaching y'all. Let's recap. Here I showed you that symbol of the sky vault at the top right there with the all-seeing eye, looking like a spinning top, a Tasmanian devil. The Tesla T, I synced it to that. I synced it to the Hebrew heaven of heavens. I synced it to the God Anu and showing you what the Anunnaki is, right? I also synced it to Jesus. I synced it to the science of it, which is a vortex to give you the original science of it. And we always want to use nature, all right? All right, so now I'm syncing it to the symbol of God or Superman, the one that takes flight, which is this thinker in the back of the brain. And now I want to go deep into this symbol. That circle that you see in the middle of that triangle represents the pineal gland, pulling in the light of the universe into your mind to create a world in the back of your brain. Everything you see ain't on the surface of your eyeballs, and it ain't outside. It's a picture projected in the back of the brain out of pure light that's all around you. Like a projecting machine would take light and turn it into a picture. Your mind is a projector. It's a projector. And I'm going to show you this image here. You can realize that. So now that you're looking at how these two eyes bringing in a red and blue image, turning it in. See, if you learn how the old cameras work, you snap this bright white light, this picture, and you take that photo and you take a red and blue copy, you merge them together, it basically give you the real reality picture. That's the secrets of photo or photosynthesis. That's how we create reality. One eye is the red copy, one eye is the blue copy. But when they both come together in the back of the brain, it creates this beautiful reality that you're experiencing right now. And this is what it looked like as those two strings of light triangulate to a point in the back of the brain that we call the pineal gland. And the reason it's called pineal is because it comes from the word pinnacle. And the pinnacle of something is the top point. This is the dot at the top of the Santa Claus hat. Because when you pull in creation from these two eyes are bringing in light. And that light comes to a point, boom, and crashes at the back of the brain. And when it crashes, it makes a picture called life. Everything you see is a result of the crashing of that light into a projected picture. Just like when you smash anything, it flattens out. In this case, think about light hitting a wall and showing you a movie on it, like a projecting machine. And the light hits the wall and show you the movie. The wall is back here in the back of the brain. That's the darkness that's allowing reality to be projected within it. That's literally how we see. We don't really see in this sense. We load. We load like a computer. Now let's go deep and talk about Freemasonry. Because everything I'm showing you about this vortex, that's what's happening at the middle of the earth. And when we say as above, so below, it's happening on the ground and in the sky. Now, you know what? I'm going to shut these images down because it's confusing me now, and I don't think I'm going to need them no more. I'll just leave a Tesla T up there so we can use that. We don't need all of them, though. We already synced it together. So what I'm going to do at this time, I'm going to go back to a water vortex because I made a mistake and I shut that image. And we're going to need that. So, oh, this is a damn good one that I want to show you some with. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm glad. I see everything happened for a reason. I actually needed that and didn't even know I needed it. Thank you, ancestors, for that. Because now I'm finna be able to show you even more detail. All right, let's go with this one here. We want us another water vortex up there. Sorry guys, I'm very picky with these photos and that's some form of OCD. Let's just go with this real quick because I got a lot to show you here and what I didn't show you at first. And I actually want to take the time and backtrack the show because I forgot to slide Moses in. When I was talking about the one that separate the waters from the waters, they sits in between the waters and pushes them aside. That's what this vortex is. Remember, I've been syncing it to all of these different gods, even synced it to Superman. That this is the simple science, man, of how vortex can separate reality. Vortex can separate these ethereal waters. Look at Moses. Moses looked just like Noah, don't he? Moses is surrounded by an arch of water. You see all of this thing about flooding? Y'all need to pay attention. Moses is dealing with a flood type story because the waters dropping and the waters being hit, floodgates and shit. Sort of flood thing going. See, let me show you something. In the Hebrew cosmos, the god of the sky was Aquarius, the water bearer. And every couple of ages, that God will open up the sky vault wide and pour the knowledge onto the people. And that's the age we in now. When God returned inside the minds of the masses. The thing about that is, all of these gods that's got anything to do with water and the people crossing through the water and shit are like Poseidon, Neptune, and all them in modern form. Moses means more seas, the one that create more water, more seas. It was one sea before he came. And when he split it, it become two seas. Moses represent the laws of multiplicity and division and duality within the universe. And that's what the god Anu is personifying. Let's go back to this. Because what we see right here is in the Hebrew cosmos, they got the waters above the firmament. This part where say God, heaven of heavens, is separating the waters from the waters. Let me zoom in on it. Right here is a vortex where the heavens are being stirred up. And because the heavens are being stirred right there, this is what's happening. Right there. We get an opening or a vortex there. Right here, where you see this hole at right here. So it's almost like there's a force standing in between the waters, keeping them from clashing together. There's a magnetic force splitting through entire creation, keeping the waters separated from the waters and making more seas of what we call duality. Now, because there's a force at the middle of the earth, creating a gateway or this sort of elevator, this wormhole through the fabric of creation, it's a highway for souls to travel through, which is why I was showing you about the aurora borealis, and we about to go back to that in a minute to tie that back with this. The story of Moses letting the people go across the water is not a real historical story. It's dealing with the North Pole is what allow human souls to be reborn. And that's why they at the North Pole now trying to destroy it. They trying to, it's like in the movie Avatar, when they wanted to destroy the sacred tree. That's the ancestor tree. That's the Akashic records. That's allowed them people to get out and go with their ancestors. We can't go to the North Pole because I think they're over there trying to destroy the sacred tree that let our souls out of here. There's a portal that when we die, the Aurora Borealis, I just went over it. Moses is holding the water back to let the people go. That's a spiritual story of what's happening at the Aurora Borealis. Let me show you something. Here go to, y'all hit the like and share button. Here go the Polynesian cosmos. And you can see in the Polynesian cosmos, in the middle of it, there's this big old split. And there's this ladder right here, Jack's beanstalk. This ladder is where connecting all these worlds together. It's a split through the earth. This little crack is why the Dogon said that the universe is a cracked egg. I want y'all to listen close, man. The Dogon said that our universe is an egg that we live inside of, and it's cracked in the middle. And here go the Polynesian cosmos. The god that represents the middle of our universe was called Thor to the Norse people. And he held a lightning bolt in his hand. You see this dude holding this lightning bolt? I'm trying to show you Thor ain't nothing new, man. These folks got a god named Thor holding a lightning bolt. And the Polynesians got their ancestors holding on to a lightning bolt. Look, man. You see this gentleman here holding up that lightning bolt? That's Moses right there, splitting the waters, man. Look, they copying your ancestors and you don't know it. This why they don't want Brother Sanchez to grow. Brother Sanchez ain't show up here just talking. The man showing you what he's saying. No Billy Carson joint type stuff here. Showing you what I'm saying. Look at what I'm saying here. This is the Polynesian cosmos. This brother right here would be Moses. He's holding up the doggone scepter, the staff that's splitting through the whole universe, allowing the other ones to make it up and down the ladder to connect everybody together. Without him right there, we won't be connected together with this stairway to heaven in the middle of the cosmos. So this man right there that's holding up that lightning bolt, we got to get that man his props. So how did they give him his props? They wrote stories about him. They called him Moses. He the one that created Moses. Because of him, it'll be one big ass thing with no duality. It's the duality that connect the worlds. Because if it was one big thing without that highway in the middle, everybody'll be separated from each other. Cracking that thing in the middle is what creates a pathway for all of these spirits to communicate with each other. And this is how our ancestors was talking to the dead, man. Maybe at the North Pole, we can see our loved ones and communicate with the dead. Several ancestors said when we journey back to our ancestral lands, we literally confront our ancestors in these spiritual lands. Now that the Western world is telling us today, that's just some poetry. It ain't real. You don't really, see the dead. But yet they making technology that's going to allow us to see the dead that's based on what's happening at the North Pole. Goddamn, take a minute to digest that.
Please like and share the video. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be sure to select all so that you can receive notifications every time we go live and upload to the channel.
Y'all gotta put some respect on my name because niggas talking about the ancestors this, ancestors that. They know I'm on their ass, dude, letting some ancestors come out your mouth. The moment a nigga talking about some ancestors out his mouth. I'm ordained by the ancestors to come and challenge that. I know if it's ancestral or not. If you ain't willing to get laughed at saying the earth is flat, you ain't speaking for the ancestors, and you can sit your imposter ass down. Ancestors ain't qualified nobody to speak to them that ain't gonna deal with their cosmology. So look at here in this Polynesian cosmos. That brother holding up the scepter that separate the waters from the waters. And that became the doggone biblical Moses right there. Look at him. You see him with his hands held up. He's holding up the scepter and he's separating the waters from the waters. He holding the water back. And because he doing that, all of these people can travel through. All of these people can make their way to the promised land because of Moses. This is a spiritual story, y'all. Not no biblical, literal stuff to take literally. It's all spiritual. Y'all see why now I need to go viral? You see why Brother Sanchez need to be viral? All the religious theologians, all these bishops and scholars and priests, they don't know this stuff. They really believe in talking snakes and all of that. Man, I'm about to hit gas and I'm about to go so hard after I fire this weed up. I'm telling you right now, give me a minute. We about to fire up, go to hell in right now. Don't you just hate these little porn sites be in everybody's chat room? If I could find a nigga who made these little porn site links, I swear to God, I would torture that nigga. Y'all may say, damn, bro, Sanchez, it's that deep, you evil. Yeah, I don't like that shit. They be all on children channels and shit. Like, I would really f you up. Like, we find the owner of that site, nigga, we killing your ass. Real talk. Around this promoting porn and children and shit. Be on your, for real, you'll see that shit pop up on the kids channel too. Like, who the fuck is this creep? Who is these folks? Hold up, y'all. My bad, my blunt ain't pulling right. That's karma because I say I'm killing his ass. Well, shit, universe, it made me mad. I'm sorry, shit. Flat motherfucking power. Get yourself some wings and cop yourself some flat power gear. Moderator, share the link with the good people so they can gear up. I got a compliment for my flat power gear the other day. Was in a grocery store, and a white lady, she must have thought it was saying black power because she gave me one of these like, oh, I like your shirt. Now, what you would have liked it if it said black power, though. I'm just bull. But yeah, man. So when it talk about Moses letting the people go, you know, Moses holding the water back so that the people can cross into the promised land, they were stealing from our ancestral story. Here go the real Moses right here. I'm a circling with my mouse corner. He's holding the scepter. And that scepter separates the universe and creates a cosmic highway from the earth down here all the way up to the heavens up there. So Moses allowing the people to make it to the promised land is because our ancestors promised us when they created this earth that we can ascend to the heavens through it's a process though. It's a process. Trust the process. Let me tell y'all what make Brother Sanchez so fearless. Because I really believe what the ancestors said, dude. I know this is spiritual warfare, and I'm a general in this shit. And guess what I know? I know when I die, my ancestors gonna keep that promise. These folks' technology can't outwit my ancestors. They created the first simulation. These folks can only outwit you and make you turn your own soul over. And then the ancestors, that's on you though, right there though. But the ancestors said it in this dang on artwork. Right here. This dude right here would be the Moses. He's creating this whole pathway for everybody to connect with each other, man. And for your soul, if you down here, through these life and deaths, you climbing this stairway to heaven. That's what the ancestors taught, which is why why y'all care about dying like that. We all gotta die, nigga. We climbing a stairway, and each step is a lifetime in one of these universes. Now, what they want you to do is when you take a step, you fall and you never get up the fucking staircase because you keep tripping at one step. And that's the Saturn matrix effect. That's the indoctrination. That's the archons in this world. That's in this world is a step. And on this particular step is a banana peel. Our soul is taking these steps through these different dimensions. This particular step you on now, there's little obstacles and banana peels, or it's a different step. So we slip here, we fall a little bit on this step, but everybody eventually pass it. But that's what the people do here in this world with the trickery. Try to keep you here long as they can. Trick of the devil. But nevertheless, the ancestors said you're going to keep on stepping, climbing Jacob's ladder, and you will meet up with these beings up here eventually. And these beings that's going to be greeting you. This is the journey back home. And as we making this journey back home, we can see it above us in the form of the aurora borealis, which we're about to talk about in a minute. So now that we got this sync with Moses, and now we can see like Noah, let's now sync it with Noah, and we'll move on. So you see Noah in the middle of the ark. He would be the same thing as the gentleman here, who we call Moses. The man in the middle of the ark with all the animals on there with him and all his family on the ark with him, right? But he's the one that built the ark. That's this dude right here. You know why? Because the pole in the middle of a tent is what's building the tent. And the one that's holding up that pole is the one that's pitching the tent. You got to give that man some props. Like I said, this is why they tell a story about Moses. And you got to give that man some props, man. Because he the one holding up the pole that's separating the four walls of the tent, creating what? Space. So we can live in between these two walls of water like a house. And we can be at peace because he going to keep holding it back. And we can trust him. We can have whole picnics right there, knowing that Moses' arms ain't going to get tired. See, we can walk through this water. If this water pathway goes for miles and miles and miles, we need to know that Moses' arms ain't going to get tired. But what if I say, hey, Moses, we need a pathway all the way to heaven? Moses better have some strong ass arms now, ain't it? Now, what was a God that represent a strong arm? That's the Arm and Hammer logo, the strong arm. To this day, it represents might and power. Even the women's had one, the little white lady with the red bandana on. you know, baking soda box, right? So this is all I'm telling you here. You even had gods that were worshipped as just a strong arm. So now I'm tying to you all the symbolism of why we worship the eye god. Hell, why they worship the arm god at one point. So you see what Moses represent there. Because these waters are being held back, that literally creates a dwelling for everybody. And not only a dwelling, but a pathway, which is what these dwellings are. This earth is just a pathway. These dimensions are just pathways up a stairway to heaven. That's why I'm showing you this. Think of a water fountain with multiple layers. Each one is just a step to the top one, which is the smallest one. But why is that the most important one? Because the source of all of the water is coming from there. What water? The water that Moses is holding back. You want to know what caused it to flow in the first place. So the whole journey that Moses is allowing the people to go on, it's the journey that would explain why we even needed Moses in the first place. You see how deep this shit getting now? You see how deep it's going? Because where those people are heading down this wormhole is back to the point of the Big Bang or the CERN portal. And that's literally what's allowing Moses to drill through the ethereal waters to create this bolt of electricity, these two particles. They're reverse engineering flat earth, guys. That's what I'm leading to now. We finna go so deep with this. Hit the like and share button. So right here, when you look at this, this is what's called a protractor. A protractor. Let me see something here because we're dealing with mathematics. When you deal with a protractor, guess what you're dealing with? The sky god is Nut, right? Check this protractor out. Then you got to check out how we get protractors. The protractor is designed off of the cosmos. And the bigger or smaller your protractor are just fractals and increments of measurement based upon what it is you're trying to achieve in rather centimeters, inches, feet, right? Micro, macro is what we're dealing with. And this is your all-seeing eye. This is the God that wore the spiky crowns on his head. Why? Because at the middle of this protractor is all of the rays and different degrees of light. Protraction is projection. Now, when you look at Noah, whether you see a protractor, the one at the middle of the protractor that sent the bird out to see if that was dry land, that was Noah. You remember the story? Noah sent a bird from out of the ark to find dry land. All right? That bird that Noah sent out of the ark was called the sacred bird. That was the sacred bird, or the bird of heaven, because they said Noah. So this whole, you can see where my mouse is. That bird is called It's Minaj. Sound a lot like Nicki Minaj or some shit like that. It's Minaj. Damn, that's crazy. So that was the name of this bird. It was the bird of heaven. Right? Now, this tree that you see in the middle of the ark, this is literally what Noah is personifying. Just open up your eyes. Watch this. What this picture represents is when Noah released the bird out of the ark, how his hands was looking. Let me show you the artwork. I keep telling y'all that the artwork is so important. See, look at here. Noah's hands represent the tree of life. But you notice that the bird is released from the tree. It's separated from the tree, but it's still above it, just like we see here. That bird is the star that you put at the top of your Christmas tree. That's the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid. And you know why that's important? It's not attached to the pyramid. It's not attached. See, this is Noah releasing the bird. This is the body releasing the soul back into the heavens in its Merkaba ship. Ain't nobody gonna get deep like this but your boy. They ain't getting deep like this on Black Magic 363. I'm just trolling though. Salutes to Black Magic channel. But that, hey, I'm just calling out for smoke, man. Now check it out. The base of this thing represent the body. It's anchored to the earth. It ain't going nowhere. It's foundated. But what leaves the earth is the consciousness. Jack pops out the bop. Jack out the box. This little pyramid of light is the human Merkaba, which is represented by one single eyeball. That eye represent your pineal gland. Look at it shine in all of its radiance. And think of what I'm about to tell you here. Your body is the base of that pyramid. It don't go nowhere. But listen, your human body gonna stay with the earth, man. That's represented of this bottom part of the pyramid. That's mounted to the earth. That ain't gonna go nowhere. Your human body, from the moment it was erected on this earth, it ain't gonna never go nowhere. Your human body will never go into the sky. It'll never go anywhere further than this earth and in a doggone graveyard in this earth. What's gonna leave this earth always is the consciousness inside of the body. That's the part of you that can talk when your mouth closed. That's the part of you that can see when your eyes shut. Now, the part of you that can talk with your mouth closed also can hear itself. And it ain't listening with the ears on the side of your head because the voice ain't coming from the outside. It's already in between your ears. Can I point out the speaker? Here we go. Here we go. It's a whole nother you inside of you. And that's the you that can never die. That's the you that can never die. So this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. That's what we're looking at here. This is not a gland, folks. And we finna go deep into the pineal gland in a minute. It's not a gland at all. It's literally you. This is literally what you look like. Fuck the body. This is you. That little white dot, that's you. That's going to be still you even when the body gone. Now, that's what we see at the top of this pyramid here. That's what detaches. No pyramid in Egypt have a capstone. You know why? That's the stone that the builders rejected, which is known as Christ, the Merkaba, the light body. Becky, where you at? So the bird will never land on the tree. Y'all ain't hear what I just said. You didn't hear what I just said. I said the bird would never land on a tree. Check it out, man. It's a reason that these images exist this way. People been trying to figure this shit out for years, and I'm telling you why right now. Hey, guess what? I'm going to show you what's so deep about it, right? In all of them old alien movies, you know what? A UFO ship will never land on the earth. You know why a UFO ship will never land on the earth? It'll just hover above the earth and teleport whoever they trying to zap up, whether it's a cow or human. They got a light, it'll beam down, and that's how you get in and up. But it never lands on the earth. And the reason they have that, the UFO ship It's the modern day personification of this stone that the builders rejected. It's the modern day personification of this bird here. Remember that the bird was released from Noah's ship so it can do what? Find new land, new worlds. This is what happens in meditation. And what is Noah standing in? A black box of darkness. Why? Because when we close our eyes and we access the darkness, we discovered new worlds on the astral plane. We traveled the floodgates of the heavens above, the waters above, in the astral realm to make it to these other dream worlds and dimensions. The white dove is symbolic of that white light in the back of the brain. When Noah releases the dove out of the darkness, the brain releases the soul into the astral realm. And the soul go wandering the land into new universes, into a whole nother dream, a whole nother astral plane, a whole nother reality. This was what this teachings meant before it was turned into mythology and Noah and taken literally with Anunnaki and all that stuff. So at the top of our earth, all right, I'm going to take some of these slides off now. We need to move on. We get it now. That this dude right here would be Noah inside of his ark with his hands raised. Matter of fact, let me pull up Noah one more time. Because I'm about to start I'm about to start closing some of these tabs. And I want to go ahead and say everything I got to say about them before I completely close them out. So I know I don't got to go back to them. So check this out, right? Here's what I'm going to sum up with this. Look at Noah under the rainbow and on top of the arch with all the animals and everything. His whole universe is inside of there. What that is teaching you is that the whole world is being projected around you. Your whole universe is being projected around you. Saying stuff like that has gotten people like me in trouble for fucking generations. You know, because people say it's tinfoil hat talk. It's hard to understand what the ancestors was trying to get us to grasp. It is very simple when you understand projection and holography. That's what this image right here represents. Check it out. So each of these little bubbles that you see bursting out from the human is a different version of you that is existing in a whole nother dimension. Our energy is infinite. And because of that, some of what we are extends beyond this realm. And that's when we have to go and explore those parts of ourselves and dream. You don't take the body that sleep in the bed to a dream with you because you already were born over there. You got a whole history in that world. And when you get there, nobody got to tell you who you are. It's only right now that you'll laugh at me and say, this tripping. But if you go to sleep now and enter a dream, I ain't tripping, am I? You really know who you are in that dream. You have a whole separate history there, separate from the one here. And if somebody walked up to you in a dream and say, where were you born? Where was your first date? And all that, you'll utter it out. And you won't be given the dude's history who's snoring in the bed in this world. You won't give his history till you wake up here. How do you have memories in another universe? If I approached you in a dream and said, do you remember your high school prom? You'll say, I remember it like it was yesterday. What do you mean yesterday? You in all of these different universes out. And it's like, think of how crazy that is. You remember your prom in this dream until you wake up here. but you don't remember it no more. Because guess what Berkeley Institute discovered? That our mind doesn't distinguish between a dream or reality. What is that lets us know? Let me show you what it lets us know. Watch this. It lets us know that what we call in the mind right here, it's testifying to what Brother Sanchez is telling you. Dreams are real. Dreams are real. Want to know how I know dreams are real? Because your mind don't distinguish between a dream and reality, which is why men, you can have a wet dream. Women too. Because the woman you having sex with in that dream, the mind can't distinguish reality. So you have an orgasm in this world. When you holding your breath in a dream, you holding your breath in your sleep. This the whole Freddy Krueger shit, because they ain't telling us that dreams are real. People, not one of the number one causes of death is sleep apnea. People dying in their sleep because they've been teaching us dreams ain't real. And when motherfuckers is under the water in the dream, they dying in they sleep and holding their breath. But they still don't want to admit that there's something real about dreams. And they just letting people die to hide the truth about these dream worlds and shit. On some Freddy Krueger shit. Just letting you get fucked up in your dreams. And then you die in the real life. Like they said with Neo in the fucking Matrix. Hey, if you die in the Matrix, Neo, die in the real world. They told you that the truth right there. If you in the dream, you never hit the ground when you fall off the cliff. You know why? It ain't your time to go yet. So the bird will never land on the tree. The capstone will never attach to the pyramid because the soul and the body are in separate dimensions. But what make them connected is this proximity to each other that we see here. It's like this, right? Like the law of magnetism. There's an energy field around every magnet. And two magnets can come together without touching because the energy field represents the magnet. So the magnets don't have to physically touch to touch. And you can feel them touching before they physically touch because you can feel the energy when you're trying to touch the magnets. They already touching. They already touching. Because you got to deal with the energy field around a magnet. The energy field around a magnet is no different than the aura field around a human. Some magnets don't want to touch each other. Just like when certain humans come around each other, they don't like each other. They fight each other. Them energies don't go. Just like them magnets that you trying to make them stick together, but they fighting each other and they just won't stick together. We're magnets. And we're behaving like magnets, but if you can see what a magnet was thinking, it'll say, man, I ain't feeling that nigga, man. Oh, man, just keep me away from him. That's literally why those two magnets won't connect. Now, the two magnets that connect, that's your buddy right there. That's your friend. Like, that's my nigga. See, we're living magnets. But you need to understand how a magnet think like a human. Like, no, don't put me around that nigga. That's why them magnets don't want to touch. And some do. So your vibe attract your tribe. Everything I just taught you just now is called a law of attraction and magnetism. And your vibe attracting your tribe and shit like that. But check this out, right? What make two magnets attract is simple vibration and compatibility. Any two magnets can attract once they calibrate the energy field that way. which is why the person you clashing with, you can jail with them too, but eventually. But this is why the bird never lands on the tree. Now look, in this artwork with Noah, you notice that the picture that they captured there, the bird ain't in his hands in that snapshot. The bird is released from his hands, just like because Noah represent this tree right here. This is what you need to think about, right? Because I'm trying to teach you, but you got to open your third eye. Y'all talking a lot in the chat. You're laughing, you're joking, but check it out, man. If you listen to what I'm showing, you'll really get some deep stuff here. Because I want you to pay attention to everything intricately when I go into this net symbolism. But before I do that, drop a 1 in the chat room. Let me see if we still rocking and rolling. We got more people than likes. And I would like y'all to share and like the video, please. Drop the 1s in the chat, and I'm finna go real deep with this symbolism, and I need y'all full attention. Go ahead, y'all. Drop the 1s and we good, just to make sure. Well, I'm gonna keep going. Now check this out. If you look behind Noah is a black box. You see, I need y'all to pay attention to what I'm showing right now. Noah is coming out of a black box. That black box is the cobblestone. That's this black box around this tree. I want y'all to look up close now. Listen close now. You see how this tree is coming out of this little black box right here? Noah is coming out of a black box right there, a square. And he's holding his hands up just like that tree. And that tree is releasing a bird out of the arch. That tree right there is releasing a bird out of the arch, which is why you see the bird outside the arch. This Mayan cosmology was turned into this bull crap. Somebody put some respect on my name. I told y'all to listen up. I'm about to shake the whole foundation of the Christian community, of the Hebrew community. This is why they don't want my shit to go viral. I ain't just talking. I'm showing you this stuff. I'm showing it to you. Look at this, y'all. Let me show you some. Y'all think this shit game. Watch this. Here go the black box that Noah popping up out of. This is why we talk about Jack in the box. Noah is fucking Jack. And here go the black box, the cobblestone. Now, check it out. This square at this black box at the middle of the earth is what they doing in Mecca to represent this black box. This is where all of our souls eject up out the earth at, like a jack in the box to Jack's beanstalk. Because Jack in the box and Jack in the beanstalk is the same thing. Jack and Jill fetching a pail of water is, to me, all of this folklore tying a man and woman and Aquarius knowledge. But check this out, though. This black square at the middle of the earth, or the cobblestone in Mecca, this is where all of our souls eject out of. So what eject out of this black, see, this is what you got to realize. This black box is symbolic of your grave site. It's a 6 feet deep hole in the ground. It's a black box in the ground that they're going to put you in. When they put you in your little box, when you die, your little black box or your grave, what's going to pop out of that is the soul, a ball of light. The body going to stay in that casket and decompose, but what's going to pop out of that black box in the ground is your soul ascending to the heavens. So the concept of Jack in the box, remember, what does Jack look like? Because I want y'all to pay attention to everything we do got some meaning to it. Even the deity that represent what I'm teaching you in Egypt was called Anubis. And Anubis is a jackal. but I'm just talking about the etymology right now. Anybody ever played with a jack in the box? They know that jack got this little spirally spring that he's attached to. And the whole concept of the jack in the box attached to that string, watch this though. This is what I was teaching you earlier. When you look at the Naginis in the Hindu, how they attached, how it looked like a jack in the box. What they were saying about this deity is that this represent how the soul, they were saying this deity represent how the soul travels to the aurora borealis. That's what I was showing in the previous stream. Let's recap on that real quick. At the middle of the earth is a black box. Before it was known as Allah in Egypt, it was known as a goddess called Alat. And they changed her to Allah. But that black box really was representative of the vagina or the womb, the portal of life. And they said micro, macro. That is one at the middle of the earth too. And the ancestors were saying, when we looking at the northern lights, we looking at the ancestors returning home. They were saying that this little green streak of light is a soul going home. All of these little streaks of light are headed toward the North Pole in all of the directions on the earth. And the ancestors said that they were this is the souls going back home. Out. Every human is a aura of light, right? And that light can't escape a black hole. So when it travels back to the North Pole, we get these northern lights in the heavens. All right. So I'm finna go deeper into this whole thing, but let me clear some of the screen up a little. See, these northern lights are called, every streak is a soul called a Nagini. Here's what a Nagini look like. Now, the word Nagini is the word genie, right? Genie. And just like Jack is inside of a box, the genie is inside of a lamp. And when you rub Jack's box or roll up Jack's box handle, he pop out the box. And when you rub the genie lamp, he pop out the lamp, right? So when you rubbing a genie lamp, it's just like the jack in the box. And Jack attached to the little spirally spring, it's the genie that's attached to the little tail smoke coming out the lamp. It's the same religion, y'all. It's the same religion. It's talking about our souls, man. When they pop out the box, which is the body, the brain, and they journey back home as the light of the aurora borealis. And the ancestors used this to show what the human soul looked like when it's going home. And they knew what they was talking about, because look at this. So when you look at all of these little green little snakes gathering around this black hole, to the micro, it plays out as sperm around an egg, micro, macro. Because all of these little Naginis in our world are actually sperms in a whole nother universe waiting to be born again. And as these Naginis enter the black hole, let me show you how the chicken got inside of the egg for a minute. Say, how did the chicken get in the egg? Let me show you something. This Nagini right here is a soul of the dead in our world. But the journey that it's taken is a micro, macro journey. As a dead person's soul travel to the North Pole, at the same time, that person's sperm cell is traveling into an egg in another world. So at the same time, that person's soul fly into that black hole at the middle of the earth, the sperm make contact with the egg, in another world, and the doctor say, okay, she's conceived, and guess what the doctor say? Her waters just broke. Now, why do the woman's waters break? Because you're coming from the heavens, bro, and there's waters above there, and those waters are symbolic of the earth. Look, once you break through the barriers of that next rail, the ritual is that water will be broken because your soul literally just broke through the waters of another universe. So the sperm, the egg is a gateway, right? And the ancestors saw the connection between the ghost and the sperm and micro and macro, and was saying this is the same journey of rebirth. What the ancestors were saying was that life and death are tied together as one divine act. That's what they were saying. They were saying that your same journey out of this world was represented by your same journey into another world, and these two journeys gonna be ran together simultaneously, consecutively at the same time. It's like when you move, your shadow move with you. And when your ghost is going back to the North Pole, your sperm in another world will be going to that egg. So the sperm is the shadow of the ghost, and that ties life together with death, to where the soul think it's going into another world, and indeed it is, but it's playing out as a sperm that's already in that world going into an egg. The ancestors were so awesome. Let's drop a bomb for them. So all of those souls going back home looked like this under a microscope. And under a macroscope, it's all of the stars seeming to be journeying back to Polaris. Hit like and share on the video. Now, when we take this concept a little deeper, right? This is what's happening on the ground in response to what's happening in the sky. So when we get to the North Pole, what all the ships would see is the oceans are pouring into a bottomless pit. And above that bottomless pit, there's this invisible magnetic pole of energy that's splitting through our reality like a sword. And that's why I keep showing you this image. This God shapes just like a sword. Let's go ahead and recap some of this. The reason you see this look like the handle of a sword that's stuck inside of the earth, right? That's what I'm telling you. The North Pole, everything, it splits through the entire universe like how this water vortex split through the water. And this is what it'll look like on the ground, as above, so below. So ships knew that you had to turn her. See, when you trying to sail to the North Pole, at a certain point, you got to turn around because the current pick up so fast that old pirate said you reached the point of no return. That's the point where you can only now be sucked in. So it was very important. Now, today, they don't let us sail to the North Pole. Part of me want to believe that they trying to protect us. Part of me want to believe what I know it is, that they asses is just trying to play God and reverse engineer the technology that they're studying there. They're studying this phenomena, and this is how they're able to reverse engineer this into the free energy technology of today. And the company that's instrumental in doing that is Tesla. And like I said, a symbol of Tesla, let me go back to it, is exactly explained by this water vortex. It's very, look, here go to God Saturn or Mazda. That's how you get your Tesla T. See him up there? Let's take him away a minute. We'll come back to him in a minute. Hold on. Because we about to go so deep, it's crazy. Hold up. Now look, I'm showing you how the water is entering the suction drain here. Very simple stuff. We know how that works. But how a black hole works, it's the same way with our soul. See, when we die, we can linger around the earth. And that's called being trapped on the ethereal realm. There are souls that's saying, I'm not ready to go home yet. Now, when we get out this body, they can see all of these little green souls making a journey back home. Like I showed you, the northern lights. They call it the aurora borealis because that's the aura of man going home. Like I said, with the Nagini. But every soul ain't ready to make that journey as soon as it die. So you can stick around the area that you died at and kind of get stuff together. You can kind of be this soul that's still on the earth. You ain't and you trying to work out some things and stuff before you just leave. You may want to say goodbye to some things, stuff like that. Then once you get ready, you'll go north. As a soul, you can fly. And you know that the closer you get north, ain't no undoing it. Once you get to the point of no return, you're going to be like those little green Naginis that's getting sucked into the vortex. When I show you the northern lights with those green little serpent, the Nagini things, you know, getting sucked into the vortex, that's you as a soul saying, I'm ready to go back home, man. I done detached from this earth. So when we see these little green streaks in the sky, that came to be some alien shit, you know, the Anunnaki reptilian. That's why I'm showing you this symbol, this symbol. This God named Anu. And they trying to make it like we all come from the Anunnaki and all that, which are these alien race of people in the sky, these green men. But I'm showing you who the green men are. It's your auric light. You're a streak of auric light. The heart chakra is green. They said this is where our energy exit the earth at. This is all making sense. This is the true currency. They said that the green serpent was wrapped around a tree in the Bible. That's us, man. We're the serpent. They said that serpent had the knowledge of good and evil. The ancestors said when you get outside of your body, ain't nobody gonna have to teach you how to be a soul like they taught you how to be a human. The serpent already got the knowledge. I'm trying to free y'all folks' mind. You can't teach the serpent. What can you teach a soul? An infinite beacon of light that the dumbest motherfucker on this earth can't play dumb when he die. You don't gotta teach a baby to be a baby. It come knowing how to be a baby. You don't gotta teach these Naginis how to be. You don't gotta teach that sperm how to make it to the egg. Just like they ain't gotta teach this soul how to make it to the pole. This the knowledge that can't be taught. It was always known. The problem is you trying to know it while living, not when you die. Think of how the knowledge could have empowered you while living. That's called the secrets of transcendence, meaning all of the secrets that's revealed to us before and after we die dead is hidden behind a wall of ignorance in our lifetime. That's the brain, the body. But the moment that the human being learn to connect the part of itself to the body that already know, humans won't even have schools no more. we'll just have cosmic downloads. Now check this out. The secrets of what I'm showing right here. When the soul start to make its journey back home, it gains more speed as it get close to the pole because it's reaching a point of no return. This is called spaghettification. Look, because not only do you start to spaghettify, you start to spiral around like a spaghetti noodle getting sucked into the sink drain. You see, and that's how the sperm enters the egg. It spirals into the egg like a kamikaze pilot with the tip of the plane spiraling like a football, like a perfect quarterback throw that good bomb downfield is spiraling into that black hole. And the spinning of that sperm as it enters the egg, it's the same energy that keeps spinning up and down the spine right now that they call the Kundalini energy. Think of a kamikaze pilot. It's about to dive into that egg and it's spinning like that. Because it was spinning when it hit the egg, that spinning never stopped. The impact that your soul made with the gateway to enter this earth and the rate of spin that it was turning with is literally what makes you, you, and me, me. It's what made every kamikaze's explosion pattern look slightly different. The plane went down, but the light and fire went up. That's the soul. When the body is a plane, it's a kamikaze. You know why? It knows it's gonna die. You know that your human body, you can't escape this death. That kamikaze pilot knew that. That sperm cell knew it was gonna die when it crashed into that egg. And you as a human being know that you're gonna die when you crash into that doggone grave site and that hole in the ground. Does it stop you from being human? Nope. Does it stop you from living? Nope. Why? Because you're a stupid kamikaze. And I mean that in a good way. Did it stop the sperm from wanting to land into the egg? Did it stop the kamikaze pilot from wanting to land on its target? You can never stop being a kamikaze. And I'm telling you, the final seconds of a kamikaze pilot's life were more glorious than some of y'all 80 years of walking around. And it's a lesson you can learn in that. That a kamikaze pilot actually died with a smile in the most horrible way. And you got all of these years on your life complaining every day. And you had kamikaze pilots that was proud. And it was almost like how niggas playing all month with that one perfect outfit and they get it right and they put it on for that one event and you just can't tell them shit. That's how the kamikaze pilot felt when it was flying that plane. My most grandest, luxurious moment in life, here it comes, baby. I'm a kamikaze. My death is to show a motherfucker why you shouldn't play with me. Right? And the amount of honor that was gained from that. See, but the thing is this right here. What we learning from that is if you don't know how to die, you don't know how to live. You don't know how to die, you don't know how to live. Every day you're rehearsing to how you want to be put in the ground. Every step and every breath and every day that you live is a rehearsal to the grave. You're auditioning to how you want to be remembered. That may be the only thing you got control over in this realm, is how the hell you're remembered. So if that's key, right? Because who you are and how you remembered is way two different things. But now let's get back to this, because I'm actually going off on a rant with all that, and I would like to keep going there, but I do got to get back to the spaghettification. I'm tripping again. So check this out, y'all. This is what's happening at the North Pole. All of these streaks of light are human souls going into the aurora borealis. And there's nothing to be scared of. These folks want you to think it's so scary. They want to spookify it. This is the genie in the lamp. This is why Jack pops in and out of the box. And this is why Jack's legs. See, let me go back to show you something about Jesus real quick too. Because in all of these old deities, guess what you see? That their legs is like a mermaid tail. And their hands is stretched out, like I said, like a Tasmanian devil. And it explains why they nailed both of Jesus' feet together. Because he was really trying to be a modern day form of this god called Anu right here. So when you look at Jesus with his arms spread on the middle of Calvary, here is Anu with his wings spread on the middle of Calvary, or the dome. And those wings in this image was just given to Jesus as a form of a dove landing on the cross. But you can see Anu legs look like a genie legs or a mermaid legs. This was a serpent god. And this is what Jesus is, this mermaid. Jesus is this mermaid god. Now, mermaid is for women. Merman is for Jesus or Mormon. Mormon or merman, and they symbol is a fish. Why do we symbolize Jesus with a fish? Jesus was originally a merman. Yes, they used to worship Jesus as a fish god named Dagon. Let me show it to you guys. This fish god was a merman. That became the word Mormon. Mormon, the Mormon church. And they got Jesus symbol as a fish. Because here's the original Jesus, y'all. Look at that. Now that you Christians know that you worshiping the devil, are you ready to stop? I bet y'all wasn't expecting that shit, was it? You got the Christians too that they're like, he going in, you know, but I'm a Christian. I see how it's kind of, you know, make my teachings look a little bit wrong, but I'm, you know. And I just come right out and say, yeah, man, you worshiping Satan. You're a Satanist. Christ is the damn devil. That's what I'm teaching you. That's right. You're a Satanist. Now that you know that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, here go the early form of your God. And this is why Satan was that great serpent in the abyss, which was talking about an ocean. That's Dagon. You know what? Let me show you. They said Satan was the great dragon. They call him Dagon the Great. But let me show you some. Take the word Dagon and put a R after the D, and what do you get? Keep telling them I don't play no games. I don't play none. Spend too much time researching and to play some. Put a D. When you say the name Dagon, put a R after the D. What do you get? Dragon. Don't you get dragon? The one that's dragging its tail to move. They said that great serpent Satan was cursed to the earth. This who they was talking about. You want to know why it's an obelisk everywhere? The obelisk is Dagon. You see how he's shaped like an obelisk and a phallus? This is a phallic fish god and represent the obelisk and the god of the New World Order. This is the god that hid the truth from us. You want to know what the Nike sign represent, man? Here go your Nike sign right here. It ain't no Greek goddess. It's a Greek androgynous she-male deity like the Baphomet. Yes, that's what Dagon was, because he was you didn't have male mermaids. They literally had to create a new word for Dagon called merman or Mormon. And to this day, when you look up Dagon, they still call Dagon a mermaid. And y'all ain't scratching your head like, is he a man or a woman? Everybody know that a maid or a maiden is a female. Why are we calling Dagon a maid? The same reason they called a Baphomet a man, but it got boobs. It's a confused deity. The same reason Adam had a womb on his rib and gave birth to his woman. Confused deities. That's totally blaspheming the natural order. This man should not be a mermaid. All of the goddesses were the mermaids, like Yemiya. If you look at images of Yemiya, you will see how these dudes replace the goddesses. Look, see how she got her hands spreaded like Christ? Look at the hands, y'all. Look at the hands, y'all. You see why Christ got his hands open and his legs is going down to a point like a mermaid, and he talking about you can be born again through me. That's what the goddesses was saying. Look at this. Just like Christ, the fish symbolism, legs to a point. Why? Because it's a mermaid. Hands spread, saying you can be born again through me. Now, you got to go, you see, this is crazy how they took all of this and turned it into, gave it to the gods. So this was the original Christ, y'all. This is their way of symbolizing the soul, man. The one that journeyed to heavens. See, Anu right here. Here go the god Anu. Here go the god Dagon. Both mermaids saying you can be born again through me. And you know why they saying it? Because they all are personifying the female uterus. Look at them with their arms open. Why do all of these gods got their arms open and their legs go to a point? Why? I'm going to say that again, man. Why do all of these gods got their arms open and their legs go to a point? Put it in the chat room. I ain't said it yet, but I got it on the screen. Why is this dude on this cross with his arms open, whose legs is going to a point, telling you you can be born again through him? What are they trying to symbolize here? He said, I bled for you and was in pain for you. Don't that sound like your mama? See? I'm trying to bring you back to life, man. You got a bunch of black niggas online having debates about the Bible, about Jesus, and they really believe in superheroes and damn mythological supermen. You got grown men believing in supermen. You know why white boys ain't religious? A lot of white men ain't religious like black men because they had their daddies in their motherfucking house. They daddy was they Superman. They daddy was they superhero. A bunch of niggas in a single mother household, they like motherfucking Cyclops and Wolverine and Batman and Power Man. Excuse me, Superman. See, niggas with no daddy in their house, they like action figures. And little toys, little monsters that'll beat you up because they daddy wouldn't do it. See the dude, the little boy with his daddy in the house, I'ma get my daddy. The one without his daddy just had to sit there and just punch the wall like Trey on Boys in the Hood. And he was able to get that out through God gonna get your ass. He became religious. He was able to vent that out. Since my daddy wouldn't beat you up for me, my God in heaven gonna get your ass. How a shot gonna get his belt and beat you up for me. He gonna do everything for me that my dad didn't do. That's right. Messing with me, I'm gonna get my father in heaven on you because I didn't have no father on the earth. That's right. You calling up God in heaven. Brad calling his daddy to come check your ass about his boy. And it ain't nobody there but your mama to talk to his dad, and his daddy gonna talk to you like a man, but it ain't no man there to talk to his daddy. Right. I hate to break this down like that, but we need it. We want to know why the black man the most religious nigga. The black man need a sky daddy because he ain't got a earth daddy. The people with the earth daddies ain't giving a fuck about no sky daddy. The racists who with the little boy looking at his daddy like a hero, and a nigga who ain't have a daddy saying, my God is an awesome God. My God is an awesome God. That man saying, my daddy, awesome, man. You saw what my daddy did? Let me tell you about my daddy. My daddy, my daddy. Guess what you were saying? Let me tell you about my God, though. I want to take the time and ask that if you follow this channel and you appreciate the work that we do, we cannot do it without your support. And one way you can support us is by becoming a member of this channel. And with your channel membership, you will be able to access perks like members only chat room, members only live streams, members first content, and so much more. Thank you so much in advance for becoming a member of this channel. And now we finna get back into this Freemasonry show and about this flat earth though, and how what's going on at the middle of this earth. Why all of these compasses point to that North Pole. And I'm finna blow you away. If you think I went deep now, I ain't went deep yet, man. About to go deep. Now watch this. This is why Jesus' arms open and his leg go to a point. And he's saying you can be born again through me. And that Jesus represent the sky vault. But this is the female vagina, y'all. Before this symbol right here was synced to some god of Saturn saying you can be born again through me, this symbol that I'm showing you now was the vagina in between your mama legs, and it was pink, and it was a hole into the egg, which is a black hole. Look at this whole symbol and think about the female vagina, and even look at the colors of it. Brother Sanchez don't play no games. The curriculum that I got for y'all today finna blow you away. Put the women on where they supposed to be. Listen, I want to give big props to the manosphere because that's literally what these guys are doing. Even though I don't agree with all of the ways everybody doing it, it's a lot of pimping going on in the manosphere. I'm with the guys in the manosphere that's literally promoting the family structure. I ain't with the mother just talking about just getting laid. But let's get back on track, man. Think about that spot in between a woman's legs. What does it shape like? A upside down triangle, right? And the tip of that triangle is where you enter at. Men, we insert right here and we skeet our sperm into this egg, this vortex in her body. And it's pink. It's a spiral pattern inside of that womb. So this whole symbol of Saturn And the all-seeing eye was literally dealing with the female. Every human come through the womb of a woman, which is a way of saying that the female body is a stargate that sees all of the souls into existence. This was the energy that guided us in the afterlife before the Egyptians turned it into Saturn, Anubis, dog-headed gods and monsters and shit. That's what created spookism. It brought fear. Because the original story said what's gonna guide you in the afterlife is Big Mama. With that big mama, baby, ain't nothing to worry about. Come on, yeah, you just go to another world, right? All Big Mama gonna do is just put you in another put and zip you up real quick, and you good. You gonna be fine, baby, and you gonna be another human. That would, okay. That would have made a motherfucker look at, okay, well, ain't nothing to be scared of with this shit, baby. But once you trade the great mother and the one that's guiding us through rebirth and all that with Jesus and all of these gods, the gods told you, you need to fear me. Be God-fearing. And if the God represent the cycle of reincarnation or rebirth through the woman, we will fear being born again through the woman. And what would that look like on a big level? A bunch of men that's saying, fuck women. I don't even know why we born through them anyway. And that'll turn into a whole science department that's trying to actually give birth to humans without the woman. By the year 2050, 2100, they won't even need women no more to create humans. What kind of science would want to do such a thing? And why would women allow them to do that? Because that's such a spiritual attack on the role of women. They're literally reducing you to a sex doll. They taking away the thing that gave you divinity, which is that life comes through you. With the very programming of the narrative and the subconscious that we see permeating through the universe. This gender war is all around the earth. World religion started it. It demoted the woman when it said that the gods were responsible for you being born again. And the gods are nothing but scientists in laboratories who are men that's trying to give birth to humans. They're trying to go against the natural order. So symbols like this, we forgot saying, we no longer started to see the female vagina in these because they corrupted them and turned it into Superman and, you know, Saturn, all that. Now let's move on. Oh, I may be closing these too quick. Keep these open. So again, Noah is personifying a tree of life. The tree of life is popping outside of a black box. And it's freeing a bird above the arch. I want to recap on that. When you see Noah popping up out of the black box, freeing the bird out of the arch, that's the cosmology right here. They're copying from your ancestors. Here go the black box. The tree is Noah coming. See how Noah's body see, part of Noah's body is stuck in the arch and part of it is hanging out of that arch. And look at this tree right here. See how part of this tree is stuck in the black box and part of it popping out, like I said, Jack in the Box. This is Noah releasing the bird out of the arch right here. I got to keep pointing that out because that's what pisses them off. They don't expect me to decipher that and to decode that. We don't miss none of this shit over here. I'm so meticulous, man, with my research and so tedious with it. And you can tell by how I'm pointing out all this shit. And I got to show you that. I don't play with this syncretism and sacred geometry, man. I'm serious about this stuff. Very meticulous with it, intricate with the research. Ain't missing nothing. I'm not gonna miss it. If it's there, I'ma see it. and I'm going to bring it to you. And that's what I'm doing. Look at that. It's right there, though. We ain't been looking at it. We ain't been looking at it. You ain't saw how Moses is plagiarizing the Polynesian cosmology with the one that's holding the waters back. And look at here. How Noah is a form of Moses and Anu and all that. Look at that, man. I'm going to keep pointing it out, rubbing it in. Now let's move it. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. Because you think we're going deep now, you just wait. You just wait. So when you talk about the Masonic square, the Masonic checkerboard, it ain't no goddamn checkerboard. The checker circle. I'll break it down to you here. Here is the flat earth map right here. People, what I'm about to show you now, can't nobody debate what I'm saying. Now watch this. In the middle of this circle, all of our reality is being sucked into a black hole, and it's being reborn out of the sky vault. Every moment is being broke down and recreated. Time itself is recycling through the North Pole just like the elements. Down to the nanosecond. When 1 second pass, another one being born. That's what's happening. The very fabric of creation on its holographic nature is breaking down as auric light, or what we call aurora borealis. That's what's happening at the North Pole, and I wish that we was able to travel there. But what I want to show you is these lines that look like a spider web. They represent the magnetic ley lines by which the energy is pulling into the center. I'm going to say that again. Each of these little lines and circles that looks like a spider web pattern is like the face of a clock. And each square that you live in is a time zone in of itself. So this spider web looking pattern, all of these lines lead to the middle of the pie, where all of the slices are pointed to this central axis point. Now, why am I showing you that? Because this is dealing with the flow of electromagnetic energy and all of the, and when we talk about the flow of electromagnetic energy, we can see that flow by studying a black hole. Now, why is that important? If I'm telling you that there's a black hole at the center of the earth and all of the magnetic ley lines on this map follow the path of the energy that light follows when being sucked into a black hole, this is showing you the layout of our whole holographic universe. You know, like when they make buildings, but they make a skeleton for the building. The steel beams and the iron bars, then they fill it in with concrete. But that skeletal frame is these lines right here, like the meat of a fish on the fish bones. These magnetic lines are the skeleton, the blueprint, the foundation of all what we perceive as the elements attached to the bones. This is the meat stuck to the bones. And the bones are these little lines you see permeating through the meat or the earth where we all meet at. But let me show you something. When you look at this pattern, it literally shows us what I'm trying to teach you here. How all of the energy is concentrating itself into a dot as we go from the outside to the inside. And that would literally be the secrets of this whole suction or vortex energy. And I'm going to show you what I mean. See here? Let's put that with here. Now, look at the pattern. Once we superimpose a grid line over this energy flow, it makes a pattern that we see here. We can now begin to divide the circle with squares, and they will fit perfectly by doing something called skewing. the square. Skewing the square. Now I'm finna fuck y'all up. How many people in my chat room are graphic artists or deal with computers or paint? And y'all know what skewing an image means? Where my nerds at? So they can know I'm not making up words. Look, to skew something is neither parallel nor at right angles to a specified or implied line. Neither parallel nor intersecting. An oblique angle, a slant. Why is that important? Watch this. Let me show you what a skewed image is. Here's an example of a skewed image. So the image on the left is the right image. The image on the left is the correct one in its natural state. But there's an effect called the skew effect, and that will slant the entire angular dimension of the frame and the image to what we see on the right. Why is this important? Anybody with a shadow know why this is important. Oh, I'm about to make the hair on your skin stand up. Anybody with a shadow know what I'm saying. Guess what? Your shadow is always projected, skewed. Why? Nature is a damn artist. She know what skewing it means. When your shadow is projected, it's a skewed image. Now, where am I going with this? Skew, right? Skew is the root word of skewer. Like when we making shish kebabs, we put it on a skewer. Remember when I was teaching you earlier about the North Pole? See, they tilted the North Pole, they slanted it, and they skewed reality in our minds. This is why the Bible said to be upright and virtuous and to be holy, because a holographic image isn't a skewed image. And you are a holographic projection. You're a light body. The root word of holograph is holy. We live in a holy universe, which is made of light. But we forgot that. This is who you are. You just can't see it. And if this is who you are, my friend, guess what? You're not a skewed image. You're an upright image, a virtuous image, a vertical image. You're upright. I'm trying to show you why we even say the word upright. This would be you as a holographic projection, and you're not who you really supposed to be, and that'll be represented by the angle of light being slanted. The real you could only be casted in the middle upright. But if you ain't acting in your real self as a light body, your projection is misdirected. That's what I'm saying. In order for this image to get the right version of you without it being distorted, it had to be casted upright with all these rays of light equally meeting the projection point. If this right side of the light are moving or longer than the left side, it'll slant your image. It'll skew you. It'll skew you. It'll distort your holographic energy, your aura. It'll make you slanted, what they call crooked. Why do we say words like that, man? He crooked. We ain't dealing with, we don't, like, think about it. We look at a dude that can stand up perfectly and say he crooked because we ain't talking about his human body. We talking about his light body. See, every human got an aura around their body, and that's the shape of your energy. We can't see your energy, but we can feel it. That's why we know you're a crooked motherfucker when you come in the room. And if grandma in the room, she ain't even got to talk to you, meet you, none of that to say something ain't right about that nigga. Y'all need to stay from around him. Nigga crooked. I'm getting these crooked vibes, snake vibes, but you know, whatever. But check this out, man. We use this language for a reason. Because if a person is crooked, if a person is skewed or slanted, guess what we say? They're shady. That's a shady person. Why? The shadow is dealing with the shadow or the shade person. We say that person's slanted, man. He crooked. He's shaded. He's skewed. See what I'm saying? He ain't upwards or virtuals or vertical. A upwards person, a centered person. It ain't the picture on the left. This person slanted, they're tilted in their understanding, right? And we say that they're shady. I'm just showing y'all why we talk the way we talk. We're in a holographic simulation, and the very language we use proves it. Now watch this, y'all. Our ground we walk on is a grid, but the grid breaks down at the middle of the earth, which is like a carpet falling into the floor. The earth that we're walking on is Aladdin's magic carpet. It allowed a human to have the soul to have an experience. But the way magic exits, the way Aladdin exits his carpet is by falling through the middle of the mother. So when you look at this symbolism, there's no such thing as a Masonic checkerboard. The checkerboard is actually a circle. Look, when you look at the flat earth and the magnetic ley lines on the flat earth, you can see why all of our compasses point inward into the center of this circle, because all of the energy flows into the middle. Now, think about a kitchen sink full of water, and you pour the drain on the sink, and you put a toothpick in the water. The toothpick will always point down the drain. It will point at the thing that's sucking it in, like a spaghetti noodle. The spaghetti noodle may spiral around the vortex, but as it gets sucked in at a tip, it's going to point into that thing. And that's why they call that spaghettification. Your compasses work the same way. Our reality is sitting within an electromagnetic ocean, and all the energy around us is flowing into the North Pole. And your compass is able to point to the direction of that vortex, and all our compass point to the North Pole. When we use a compass, we have to shoot in azimuth, And guess what? The compass is based on an AE map, which is the azimuth equidistant map. Anywhere you're trying to locate yourself on Earth, you can have grid coordinates based on the compasses. But the grid was created from the middle and spun outward like Spider-Man or like a spider, weaving a web from the center outward. So even in the Jamaican cosmology, they had a god by the name of Anansi that wove this sacred spider web of life representing the universe. I've done several teachings on Anansi the spider. Email me, donate to me if you want me to do more, and say, hey, brother, do that Anansi lecture. And I'll remember it. I'll write it down if y'all request it, and maybe I'll do another one on Anansi the spider. But anyway, let's move on, because that'll tie into how the Jamaicans was interpreting this electromagnetic energy, right? The skeletal frame of our so-called physical world. If all of these electromagnetic ley lines disappear, all of existence will collapse inward, like they show you how a star does when it dies. Because the universe is being projected outward from a point, and this is what it looks like. So you can look at the center of the earth as a big bullhorn, and the one that's on the other end of that bullhorn is the mouth of the Creator saying, let there be life. And as long as the Creator saying that, there will be life projected from the center outward. And if you don't believe what I'm saying and you just into NASA's interpretation, I can give it to you from their interpretation too. And I can show you the one that's speaking through the bullhorn. Bear with me a minute. You already see my bullhorn, don't you? Yeah. The god Saturn is speaking life into existence through a bullhorn. Why you think another symbol for the god Saturn or Satan is a bull? And why you think we call this a bullhorn? Even the Hindu said at the center of our earth is a mountain. And that mountain is none other than a damn bullhorn, which shapes like a mountain. This is the, God is a God. Their God is a eye God, meaning that they God shaped like an eyeball, right? Now, don't a bullhorn shaped like an eyeball? Here goes Saturn, y'all. Brother Sanchez just want to show you everything he know, and I'm going to pour all my knowledge out to you before I go. All this got to get out of me, man. I can't die with this in me. It's got to get out of me, man. That's why I go so hard with it. Now check this out. Here go a bullhorn. They worship the god named Bull or Ball, and that's how you get the cross. Look at the middle of the bullhorn. That go your Christian cross with Jesus in the middle, which is Mars, the red planet, which Jesus shed blood on the cross. If you look at the middle of a bullhorn, it's always red right there. And it's a cross sign. Because this God is the one that said, let there be, he created that the whole shit. You look at that bullhorn from a front view, that's Saturn. Here we go. So you got this bullhorn, and everything spoken out of the bullhorn is called life. All of life exists inside of the bullhorn. Because life is literally the voice of the Creator passing through this device. And as it X's out the other side as sound, that's what they call the soul being born into heaven. That's the whole journey of the soul. Your soul is a voice that's wielding itself into creation. So when I show you the human chakra layers, we're at the center of our own universe. And that infinite energy that makes us us is exploding outward for infinity. And it's separated in degrees of understanding. And we call it chakra layers. Even in this image here, you can see, like I've been teaching y'all, every human is the bomb. You the Big Bang. Look at them. Look at the celestial body as just an explosion. But see, the celestial body ain't got no dimensions. It's just unharnessed light. It's just an explosion of light that ain't really making a shape. It's just shining light. But once that light starts to express itself into a human body, that's the secrets of holography. Taking pure light and turning it into a hologram. Because it's how to focus light. And that's literally what the soul is doing in this earth. Your soul is a light being, but it ain't just trying to shine recklessly. It's trying to learn how to focus its light. So it ain't just this soul that's just shining recklessly. It's trying to have its light express something other than just light shining. That's just shining light. That's the difference between a hologram, right? That's the difference between a hologram light or a holographic image and just your back porch light. Now, I'm going to keep it real. Your soul in its natural state is just like your porch light. It ain't got no shape. It's just light, man, just shining. But that's the purpose of you coming to this earth. It's your soul saying, hey, I want to turn my light into an avatar. So all of that light that's just shining, it ain't really making a shape. It becomes a shape when we're born into this world. And the process by which it becomes a shape can be described with the secrets of holography. Root word hollow, holy, the holy knowledge of the light. See there? So let's move on. So all of creation is being spoken from a single point, and you can compare that to a bullhorn at the center of the earth here. Everything that's creating life is coming from the inside outward, like an idea in your mind. It's always going to be at the center of that darkness. And the way it's conceived in the mind is from the inside out. And if you look at the earth, that's literally what these magnetic ley lines here are showing us. And you can look at this like a flower, right? The flower has a stem that's going into the ground. That's literally what this pole right here is. I don't know if you can see it, but right here, there's a pole that goes down right there. And that pole, right, is literally representing the energy flowing downward now as it's sucked into the vortex. That's how you look at this map, y'all. It's the azimuth equidistant map. It's showing you the equal distances between the azimuth points, the azimuth points, which are these pie slices. And as you look at it, you can see indeed that each of these pie slices are equal. Azimuth equidistance is showing you the distances by which the energy contract and expand as you journey in and out of this image. And it looks like a spider web, which is why I'm showing you this. And that's the purpose of this map. It's not for you to get around. It's just to show the azimuth equidistance projection. That's it. And it's doing a good damn job with that. So don't show up to Brother Sanchez saying, man, the AE map wrong because a plane flight from here to there. Shut your dumb ass up. The AE map ain't there to help you navigate, nigga. Go get a geographic map, you stupid son of a bitch. Trying to navigate using a azimuth equidistant map. You the same dumbass that'll probably try to get your way around using a fucking weather map. Won't you, you fucking nigga? Every map ain't to help you navigate, nigga. You got a whole community out there on the flat earth mad at the AE map. Because the AE map won't do what the fuck they want it to do. The AE map wasn't made for that. It was made for just what I just showed and nothing else. And because it won't do nothing else is wrong. No, dummy, you wrong. You can't make a weather map also be a geographic map, nigga. You can't make a temperature data map now be a ground pollution map. Know which map to use for which situation, and you won't look like a dumbass like some of these stupid ass flat earthers out here with problems with the AE map. And I bet you they won't debate me. All of them make videos about the AE map but won't debate me. The AE map is there to show you how energy flow into a black hole based upon the azimuth equal distances of the magnetic ley lines. And that's what the fuck it's doing. That's what it's doing. And the reason I'm getting crunk with this, because I'm tired of going over this and it's people still dissing the AE map. And I take offense to it because I got this map all over my gear. This is the map I chose for all of my gear. And I chose it because it's the map that's focused on how the energy flows to the North Pole. And that's the spiritual shit that we about over here at Flat Power, man. I know why I chose the symbols that I chose for my movement. Why I got the fist with the AE map. Why I got the golden compass with the wings going north. I'm very selective with symbolism. I'm a syncretism and symbolist. Why wouldn't I be? And I'm not going to choose a flawed symbol. I know what this map mean. Them dummies just don't. Now let's take a quick break and I'm finna come back and finish mopping my flow.
Please like and share the video. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be sure to select all so that you can receive notifications every time we go live and upload to the channel.
And everybody in the chat room, I want y'all to pay attention to something. I'm going to have haters that's trying to challenge my teachings. Ignore them. In fact, this how we finna piss all the chat room haters off right now. They know who they are. Everybody type in the word haters in the chat room with the crying, laughing faces. I'm telling you, it's gonna piss the haters off. Let's do that right now just to piss the haters off. Everybody put in haters in the chat with the laughing tear faces on them. That's gonna piss them off. Let's do that again. Come on, let's do that right now for the haters. Cause I'm peeping the energy, y'all, and the hate that I'm getting for some in the chat, right? Let's piss them off, man. Come on, let's do it, y'all. Shouldn't be hating on your boy, man. Everybody, when a nigga like me come with my new research and stuff, you always got smart niggas want to push back at it. And then they'll come challenge me with something that the white man and Western science say. Just be a man and make your channel and do your own teachings there. Why black men gotta keep debating and challenging each other? I like debating and smoke, but sometimes it get annoying because I know the shit that I'm teaching is so deep and that you ain't even researched it like this yet. I know what I'm tapping into. You ain't saw it nowhere on the internet yet. So if I'm showing you some shit that you ain't never saw before, why do you challenge that? If a nigga show me something I ain't never saw before, I'm not gonna be trying to challenge it. You know what I'm gonna say? Damn, bro, I ain't never saw that before. Shit. Hey, yo, this dude here showing us something we ain't never saw before. Why would you talk about that's wrong, that's right, instead of say, I ain't never saw that shit before. And you can't lie like you saw this before. You can't show me another channel doing this. You can't debate no shit you ain't never saw before. You can't do nothing but stand there and do this. Damn, bro, I ain't never saw that shit before, my nigga. Clap it up, bro. Bro. This nigga on to some shit we ain't saw before. But the man that's bringing something we ain't saw before, they gonna go after him. Everybody gonna attack him to do what? Show you some shit you saw before.
Stupid.
Yeah. When the man coming with the stuff you ain't saw before, everybody gonna say stop, no, and they gonna come back and push back at him with the shit we already saw before. You know that. And it's just, I'm getting tired of it now. Now, I didn't say no names, so hurt dogs gonna cry in the motherfucking chat room. Put the haters back up there and laugh at them, y'all. Hey, ask them niggas why they mad at some shit they ain't never saw before when they should be shocked. Like, they should be saying, bro, like when the white man showed them some shit they ain't never saw before, they get that man props. They don't stop sucking them off. Some niggas show them something that they ain't never saw before, they say the white man ain't show us that.
Stupid.
Only the white man can show us something we ain't never saw before, Brother Sanchez. Because when a black man show us something we ain't never saw before, we gonna challenge that shit and say, where the white man said that at? Look it up in the books and the science books. And if the white man ain't said he saw it before, then it ain't right, Brother Sanchez. Because the black man ain't able to have his own thoughts. Because it's gonna be a group of us niggas that's gonna come police his motherfucking thoughts. Yeah, Brother Sanchez, we the thought police. They pay us $5,000 a month to just go around telling niggas some shit that we never saw before is wrong. We can't be having motherfuckers think outside the box, Brother Sanchez. And we hiring, Brother Sanchez, if you need a job, brother. Hey, we about to go deep, man. I told y'all, hey, I got time today for a minute. I'm about to get back on this slideshow though. Look, somebody said I'm the true hater, right? I ain't gonna call a name, but you notice I didn't say no names. I'm just joking. Everybody know that the hater is the dude on the sideline mad. Not all of us having fun. We having fun with our minds open, learning some shit we ain't never saw before and connecting with the ancestors. The haters mad like, he ain't doing it right. You hating, you doing it wrong. What you said right there wasn't right. That sentence right there need to be corrected. No, that part right there, we need to sit down and talk about correction, objection, Your Honor. Bro, just sit there and open your mind and just eat the fish, spit out the bone. That's how we know the haters. The haters don't want to eat the fish and spit out the bone. They want to complain about how the fish tastes. While everybody else like, bro, it's pretty good to me, my nigga, man. Only thing I'm saying, dude, it's some people in the chat room right now, they really butthurt that I'm just teaching about the Anunnaki around this bitch. I want y'all to think about that. I'm a nigga who stayed up and prepared this whole lecture for you. And what made me do it is because it's literally people that I was friends with and cool with who I fell out about this Anunnaki shit. People who've been following me know I used to have a comrade and we used to wear t-shirts with Anubis on the front. People who follow me know that I used to teach about the Anunnaki and Atlantis. I ain't know no better. Why am I going at this stuff so hard now? I saw I was part of a religion of mysticism and spookism, and I'm able to decode it now, meticulously, intricately. All I'm doing is sharing my research. Any black man got a problem with that, everybody in the chat room know you're a hater, man. And you can't argue and make them try to think I'm the hater. I'm the teacher. And not only am I the teacher, I'm the nigga that'll open up my platform and let you disagree with me. Only thing I'm saying is, bro, it's fresh research. It's some shit that I'm just bringing new to the table. Ain't nobody else teaching this. And so if it's new, let's examine it before we start judging it, because it's new. Hey, y'all, let's keep picking off the hater real quick, y'all. Let's keep dropping the smiley faces and laughing and putting the haters there. It's making me feel good. I'm finna go back with the teachings, but I really want to piss these haters off some more, just a little bit more, just a little bit. Oh, man, we got to hit the laugh button for the haters. Let me go and start teaching, because that's what make the haters mad for real. So like I was saying, this entire AE map and how you see the square separated in this map, it's the black, how energy enters a black hole. What's creating our universe is a black hole. They even tell you that about the Milky Way galaxy. So now what I'm about to do is I'm gonna pull up Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way galaxy is a spiral of light. You know what they're showing you? Everything I just told you about what happens at the North Pole. The Milky Way galaxy would be if you can fly above the earth and see all of these northern lights getting sucked into the North Pole. If you can see that, this is what it'll look like. Hold on, my bad. Here we go. You see there? All of these little streaks of light are really souls being sucked into the North Pole. Look. Why do you think they call it a solar system? Solar system. The final stage of all so-called matter in the universe is pure light. So when we go to the northern lights, we're looking at the purest light in the universe. This the kind of light that behaves like it's intelligent. It behaves like water. You don't see light behave nowhere else on earth like this. The closest you'll get is neon lighting and holography. Other than that, we can't compete with what's happening at the North Pole when it comes to the secrets of holography and all that. Yeah, y'all, we turning up and going deep, and we got our minds open with good vibes and good energy. Let the haters hate. We on good energy right now. Let's drop a bomb for the people with the open minds. And let's hit the hate button for the haters. So yeah. All these different light rays being sucked into the North Pole, and it's turning around like a wash machine. That's what I was saying. These are souls. These are souls. These are souls getting spaghettified. And they journey. All of the life that die on Earth, it turns into a streak of aurora borealic light. And you become this little Nagini serpent journeying back home to the North Pole. What I'm saying is what the ancestors was trying to teach us. So this galaxy shows basically the journey of the souls back home. And when you look at the Hindu Nagini, it'll show you what I'm talking about. You are your own trajectory of light, or aurora borealic streak of light headed home. And the head of that thing is the head of the sperm, and the tail, as you see here, is what is called spaghettification, how it enters. You enter this shit feet first. And so because you enter it feet first, you get this little Nagini tail. And this is why Jesus on the cross, look, that's why his legs look the way it looked. They got Jesus' legs like that for a reason. Curled up, his legs all bent up and curled up at the knees. And then his legs going into a single point with a nail in it right there. But you see how his legs making this little slithery, bent-like pattern? That's because it's called spaghettification. And whenever a human is turning around, we're going to do like this naturally, because for balance. If the ground beneath your feet just started spinning around, doing like this will actually help you balance yourself and kind of control that force a little bit. Kind of like a tightrope walker with the stick out. This is like would be a spinning top, or Tasmanian devil. And that's literally what the soul is. It's a vortex of energy. So the Tasmanian devil literally is what this whole this energy represents, cyclonic energy. Remember, one of the earliest gods was Cyclops, and the Cyclops, or the one eye, is dealing with the cyclone, like a hurricane eye, a cyclone, Cyclops, because it's got one eye, like a hurricane or a tornado. So cyclone is when you take the word cyclone and mix it with optical, you get cyclops, right? Cyclone versus the optical, because what we're saying is that the vortex or the cyclone shapes like the optic part, the optical, the eye. And you put them together, you get cyclops. It's tying in everything I'm teaching you. So the way that we enter this black hole became a sacred symbol. And that was the hands out and the human legs turning into a fishtail. Hands out and the human legs turning into a diamond point. What that is, you look like a sword. Think about Jesus. His two hands is like the handle of a sword. And his legs going to a point, it's the blade, because you're penetrating a hole. You see, spaghettification. So Jesus shaped like what? A drill. Like drilling through the ground, right? And guess what? Didn't Jesus go down into hell to fight the devil? You know why? Because Jesus is embodying the energy of Augustine, or the auger, the drill energy. Drill. 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 The serpent that's wrapped around the pole, that's Christ. And if you look at this machine, it's called an auger, named after St. Augustus. Because if you look at the symbol of the medical world and all that, it's this same sacred geometry of Christ. Think of Christ's legs all coiled up at the bottom. Look, they're personifying a drill, an auger, because this is symbolic of how the soul or the body goes into the ground, right? And then the soul ascends to the heaven. So in other words, when they drill a hole in the ground to put your body in it, then the building gonna be erected. You know what I mean? We break the ground Then we build a building on top of that shit and lay the foundation and all that. So before any building can go up, we got to dig into the ground first for the piping, plumbing, the ground breaking ceremony, the foundation. You can't build a building up without breaking the ground down. This is cause and effect. Give and take. Give some to get some, if you will. So we drill down to build up. And there's two that's representing that. And even if you look at the medical symbol with the dual serpents and all that, it's this same geometry that the God is. See? Represent how we enter the North Pole like a Tasmanian devil. Your soul is a damn tornado. And every tornado has a tail. A tornado walks on one leg, family, like a genie. A tornado walks on one leg like a genie. And this is literally the secrets of Thor, the hammer god. You know why? Look at the damn tornado. That don't look like a hammer to you? Thor, the god of the sky. You know why? The sky teaches us how nature distributes magnetic energy. She don't just have a random shape. Thor's hammer is just the personification of magnetism. Now, you see a tornado in that image. You know what I see? A tree. I keep telling y'all, nature don't change this pattern. You ain't got your eyes open, that's all. You ain't got your eyes open, that's all. All you got to do is look for mama and everything, and I promise you, you'll find her. Look at that. She expresses herself the same way every time. Look at that. Trees aren't random shapes. Trees are explosions. Trees are tornadoes. Everything is a tornado. Everything with a soul is a Tasmanian devil of energy spiraling up and down your spine. And when you don't have a spine for that energy to spiral up and down, you will become the devil that's doing the spiraling. And that's why when people die, they say it just felt like I was spiraling down, a tunnel of light. Because this is how light enters a black hole. And you are the light having the experience of the light getting spaghettified. But just to show you, ain't nothing random in nature. Not even a tree. It's how nature has been expressing itself to us. Even if I show you an explosion right now. And we'll move on after this. Because I'm kind of backtracking a little bit. But just to show you, ain't nothing random. The shape of a tree to the shape of you and me. And once we realize ain't nothing random in nature, that's when we're going to start tapping into our divine energy. So the tale of this astronaut being spaghettified turns into a drill, the tip of a sword, a Nagini tail, because it's dealing with a penis going into a hole, if you will, the 0 and 1 concept. The binary code plays itself out at this point of you becoming this trajectory of light entering a hole. And that was your daddy entering your mama. Like, this is a fractal code. This is the knife stabbing into the womb. It's you and landing onto the earth. So this is what Jesus represents. God manifesting onto the earth. And how does God manifest onto the earth? Through the act of spaghettification, which takes place through the woman. The sperm is the spaghettified consciousness entering the black hole. The sperm is a spaghetti noodle, if you will, entering a little black hole. Like I said, a spaghetti and a meatball. We all meet through this ball that's in the woman. And the way that the sperm enter that is why you think they call it spaghettification. And here go your meatball. That's your meatball, because once he go through there, we all meet right here on the earth. Like I keep telling you, it's a dual language. But if you don't get what I'm saying with that, you're going to think I'm just talking stupid. Like, what the hell is he talking about? This brother lost his mind. And a lot of people hit me like that, and they let me know they ain't ready for this knowledge. They ain't hear, they listening to me, but they ain't hearing me. It's like they seeing the images, but they don't see the vision. Some of y'all know where I'm at with it. Y'all who it's for. Anyway, let's move forward. So we can see the way this thing drills itself into the ground is how Jesus entered the earth. Look at his legs. Look at the spaghettification. I'm showing you the science behind the mythology. So the way Jesus' leg shape on that cross is for a reason. It's dealing with spaghettification. That's how Jesus went to the underworld. This is what he did to go down into hell. And Jesus basically turned himself into a fucking drill. And he told you, I went down into the ground. And you still want to deny what I'm teaching because you don't know how to decipher it this intricately. Stop hating, nigga. Where my hater button at? Come on, chat. Every time I talk about the haters, I want y'all to make fun of them. It's important because we got to joke that hate up out of them, man. We got to ridicule that damn spirit of hate up out these niggas' blood. So we going to use chastisement and ridicule and all that against these haters. You know why, brothers and sisters? We got zero tolerance moving into this spiritual war with these goddamn haters, man. Ain't got nothing to bring to the table but hating. They can say you wrong but can't say how they right. So let's goddamn it go ahead and joke on them now. So check it out, guys. I already went over that God with the Big Bang. I ain't going to be backtracking. We need to shut a lot of these slides up. So I'll talk about this one before we close it. You, in the middle of your own energy field right here, is showing the same thing. Look, let me show you some shit. See, I'm going to come back to him in a minute. Let me show y'all something. Let's take that off. Let's take that off. And one more thing about this. All of those little streaks of light that we see getting sucked into the North Pole, they teach you that it's a black hole at the middle of the Milky Way. But the Earth is the Milky Way. Everybody tell you that's just Gaia. Look at the colors. This is what they did to the goddess. They turned her to a pink little spiral galaxy because they didn't want to teach you about the vagina. Why? Because they gave that to Jesus, remember? They can't have the science conflict in the church. Jesus said you're going to be born again through him. And he's this energy at the center of the earth, remember? Jesus is just this Santa Claus God. Let me take this stuff off here now. I think y'all see what I'm saying. Let me start cleaning my screen up. Here go what Jesus is on Mount Calvary with his arms open, saying you're going to be born again through me. But remember, he's personifying the female uterus, man. Listen to all my niggas in the manosphere. We all about masculinity, all right? And if you niggas about masculinity and not homosexuality, please agree with me that we gotta be born again through a damn woman and not no man. And it ain't gonna be true just cause a rabbi or some King James Bible said it, cause it ain't true in reality. I came out of my mama's vagina in this world, and if I die again and go to any heaven, I'm pretty sure I'll be coming out of a woman's vagina there. I don't think nature gonna ever make it a man, no matter what book tells me so. So if you're a masculine man and you think that you're gonna be born out of a man's buttocks, you are just a homosexual and you confused. Ain't nothing masculine about you. That's why I said, you got red pill pastors that's talking shit about women, but they getting on their knees crying and foaming at the mouth to an invisible sky daddy. The black man has lost his rabbit ass mind, is what the fuck I think. And wanna act like I'm the simp. I never simp for no woman. In fact, don't leave yours around me. Just joking. I got my own. So after I show you your girl fit, see, I'll do little shit to make your girl laugh and compliment me and just to piss you off. Now I'm gonna show you something. Is a woman want a nigga? Masculinity is telling the truth. Because masculinity mean you ain't scared. And lying mean nigga, you showing fears. That ain't manly. And I don't give a fuck if you saying, well, that's just religion, man. We saying you can be born through a man in religion. You still lying and that ain't masculine. And you still talking some homo stuff too. So you got to look at these dudes and see how they hypocrites. You got doggone dudes in the manosphere red pilling it up and they serve a damn white god and talking about teaching about masculinity and you're a nigga on his knees. You can't mix those two. You can't mix masculinity with also being a fucking servant, because manly men ain't nobody's servant, nigga. When I tapped into my masculinity, that made me an alpha male like God in heaven. And when I became an alpha male, God kicked me out of heaven like he did the devil, nigga. Real alpha men don't want to live in another man's house. I build my kingdom on the earth before I suck up to an alpha male in heaven when I want to be the alpha male. You niggas can't teach masculinity and shit about no alpha shit. If you like superheroes, he-men, sky daddies, and goddamn religions, and you getting on your knees to invisible men. How the fuck that's masculine, man? What's masculine is a nigga being a lord and a king, and you can't be the lord, the king, and the servant, nigga. You're trying to be too much, goddamn. Yeah, ain't nothing masculine about a man on his knees to another man. If you think it is, we just different. We can agree to disagree.
Stupid.
Like the concept of a red pill pastor is the funniest shit ever. Like a red pill masculine dude gonna teach you about manlyhood when he on his knees saying we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. Look, you can't teach masculinity after you do the wiggle lip to another man. And you know you do it in church, bro. You know Jesus have you with the wiggle lip when you confessing. And you gonna teach me about manhood tomorrow after the wiggle lip? Not after the wiggle lip. Come on, man. Let's keep it moving. So the word galaxy is a feminine word. It's gal and axis, which is the girl's axis. Let me show you the first Milky Way galaxy. It's called the spiral goddess. See, this was the goddess movement. This was the spiral goddess. Now, this predates the Milky Way. And the ancestors taught that this goddess was the center of creation and that she spun around on her tippy toes like a ballerina. And this was turned into a witch stirring up a brew pot later when they demonized it. But if you look at this symbol, what the goddess represent, it's what became this galaxy here, which is the girl's axis, the spiral goddess. The reason they call it the Milky Way is because this goddess had two breasts right here. One was the sun, one was the moon. And the milk that poured out of them was the light of the sun and moon. As she spent around, it gave us night and day, which is the earth inside of her womb right there. See there? That's how this was interpreted. Spiral goddess movement. Now let me show you something about the spiral goddess though. What happened? Here go the spiral goddess. Here go Jesus again, or Anu. So they took this god right here because they said, if you look at his tail, how it's spiraling up, and right here they said that this god here is spinning around like a spinning top. He's the devil, the Tasmanian devil right here, Yahweh Shai. Now check this out, y'all. Think of a spinning top. That's what this goddess being a ballerina, what she represented. Earlier, I showed you Christ on the cross. And I showed you that Christ's legs look like a ballerina. Why do they got Christ's legs like a ballerina? You know, like on the tippy toes at a certain... The ballerina put her fucking feet so close together that both of the tips of her fucking toes be like this. It looked like both of her legs just became one big leg. And she spins around to hold that position. So that's why Jesus shaped like a tornado. And that go your spiral goddess. Remember that the spiral goddess is shaped like a female uterus, right? Where life comes through her. And this why this guy says you can be born through me. So if you take this image right here of the spiral goddess and you pull up the Norse god Odin, I'm going to show you something about the god Odin and his face. And you need to remember this. When you pull up the god Odin and you look at his horns and his pointed motherfucking chin. See, Odin has pointed horns and a pointed chin at the bottom of his face. And you know why? Look at Odin's face and look at the spiral goddess. Now, I'm going to play a trick with your mind now. When you see the spiral goddess, you really see the face of Odin. Now, the people who looking at this spiral goddess, if you're able to see the face of Odin, then you're fucking on my level. The people who think we tripping, this ain't for them, y'all. But at this point, you should see the face of Odin, where the legs of the spiral goddess is his chin strap, and that her breast is his eyes, and her arms is his horns. This is how they demonize the goddesses, y'all. Now put a little respect on my name.
Please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be sure to select all so that you can receive notifications every time we go live and upload to the channel.
Now let's move on. Let's move on. There we go. We're going to move on. That's right. So the galaxy is the girl's axis coming from the spiral goddesses, which is why you see the color pink, purple, dealing with the female Putinani, dealing with the female vagina. They corrupted the goddesses, turned them into little bitty damn discs floating in darkness. And now we don't know why the woman is divine, because we think we're going to be born through Christ. And you think you masculine and manly, teaching shit like that. So look, man, let's wrap this back up and tie it with the truth. Everything I taught you about this God right here inside of these rings, let's recap. It's really you, man. It's you right here inside of your auric bubble. This energy field around you is the true self. It's the signal that's coming from the back of the brain and being sent throughout infinity. That signal is what's projecting you, like we see here, into the universe. Not out the universe, into. See where this God is at in the center. See where this God is at in the center. When the ancestors say every human at the center of their own universe, that's what he's showing you, and that's what he's showing you. Now let's keep it moving. This is you surrounded by your chakra layers. Every single human is a galaxy, and the axis that the energy goes up and down is right here in the middle. This would be the spinal cord. You see here, the human spinal cord, where all of that energy around him flows through him up and down that middle pole. So whenever you pull up the human chakra layers, you will see that the spinal cord is like that skewer I told you earlier. When you take that skewer, when you have a bunch of things stacked and layered together, you want to stick them on a stick so they don't fall apart. So these chakras and the energy going up and down the spine, as you can see, it's aligned. It's this stick, it's this spinal cord energy that's going directly in the middle of your being, this pole of light. It's a skewer pole. And because it's there, all of these layers can be held together. You see, each layer is a different ball shining itself outward. And the smaller ones, well, they light ain't that bright. And the bigger ones, those are some bright ass lights, man. They shining way out there. So you're composed of all the colors in the light spectrum of light. Some are brighter than others. But since you're created in every color in every holographic universe, and there's 7 of them, the lowest worlds are these colors like red, orange, what they call hell. And you can see these are the most innermost worlds, the red one, innermost. And these innermost worlds are very heavy. They're dense. They give us a feeling of weight like nothing before, because this universe go with the law of density, which explains pressure. The deeper you go into the ocean, the more it feel like the water is just smushing you. And so the feeling that we have in this earth right now is because we're babies, y'all. We were born into the red world. We start in the middle. So don't y'all be scared. This life ought to make sense to you when you listen to your brother. All of the shit that feel like pressure and the different negative energy, like the weight of the world on your shoulders, pressure, right? Stress, all of that. Let me share something with you. You're supposed to feel that. You know why? When a cocoon, when a caterpillar goes in a cocoon, the caterpillar starts to grow. But guess what? The cocoon don't grow. So what the caterpillar experienced as it transformed to a butterfly, this feeling of the world is just weighing in on its shoulders. Because in its tight little cocoon, it's trying to expand and transform, but it's so tight. But that when it seemed to be like the world is just too much to bear, that's when the caterpillar breaks out of the cocoon and be a butterfly. And this is why they said that the Lord ain't gonna put too much on you that you can't bear. Soon as that chick reach a point where it's like, and all of the world on my shoulders, that's when it cracked through the egg. So this creature here called a Nagini, again, on a recap, this is a picture of what the ancestors was trying to show us, the soul's journey back home. And so you can see now when the souls start to enter that black hole, this is the ancestors' way of showing spaghettification. You see the bottom of L is missing, all right, for a reason. When the astronaut is halfway through the rim, you get the god Saturn. It's literally that simple, man. Like, I like this image right here. Let's just go with it. It's kind of funny too. But you see what we saying though. As you spiral around that drain, that vortex, you look like the god El. See? So these aurora borealic lights, these streaks of light, are said to be souls. And when they enter that black hole, they're going to be, you know, like how we see in this image here. So you see the astronaut turning into like a little spaghetti noodle of light. And it's going into a black hole, right? And that's what the spaghetti noodle is, this streak of light going into the North Pole. That's literally a sperm cell on another dimension. If you look at this image, you'll see what I'm saying. Here go your astronaut getting sucked into the black hole. But right here, what's unique is that they showing you a light trajectory. That's what the sperm is. This is how the sperm get its shape, y'all. It's shaped like a pop rock. Remember those fireworks they give us? You throw it on the ground and it pop. You know that's sex magic, right? That's dealing with the sperm. What would they call? Throw them things on the ground. They look like a sperm cell. And you throw them on the ground and they pop. Here they go. See, these shaped like sperm cells. Anybody that been around a while know what I'm talking about. You throw these onto the ground and it pops. It's a little light that flash. That's made, they made that from the sperm, man. See, when the sperm touch down on Earth, there's a big bang, a popping noise, and then there's an explosion of light. And if you look at this sperm cell, it looked just like one of these little fireworks. I used to play with them all the time. Pop rocks or something. Yeah, they make them like a sperm cell. And then when you throw it on the ground, it light up and make a little popping noise, just like what the sperm did when it landed onto the earth here. So all of this stuff is sex magic. Show me something that go boom, and I can tie it into you, brothers and sisters. You know why? You the bomb, baby. You the bomb. Show me something that go boom, and I'll show you how awesome you are. And I don't care if it's a small popper. Now let's go ahead. Got a lot to go over. I might need to save some for later. So again, that's a human. Remember that the astronaut going into the black hole is the sperm cell. You see, the astronaut got that big ass helmet on, and he got them little cords tethering him from his body. This sex magic. The astronaut and spaghettifying into the black hole, that's the secret of the sperm coming into different worlds, traveling the heavens. They know our soul know about this. Whether the brain can process it or not determines if you really know. Like, it resonate with you, the whole space program, because you're the real astronaut. You're the one that traveled here the way that they said that the astronaut is doing. That's you. So when you see like the astronaut stuck in the black hole, that's like this god El stuck inside of the black hole right there. Same thing we see here. This is why it looks like Saturn. If you look at it, when the light gets sucked into that, it looked like Saturn. And that's why this god is Saturn, who's personifying this. So when the doggone sperm get in the egg, it splits the egg in the middle and it looked like the planet Saturn. The energy of the sperm saturates the egg. So this whole knowledge that I'm teaching is nothing but the secrets of saturation. And that's why you get the word Saturn. But if you look at the face of a satellite looks like what? Saturn too. You know why? Because it's all dealing with receiving and sending signals too. And that's based on the whole satellite radio, all that. When you say radio, you're talking raw, satellite, Saturn. How the gods communicate through the heavens. We're the gods communicating through the heavens with technology. You're not listening to the terminology. It says nothing about the gods communicating in the heavens, but it talks about the gods communicating through the heavens and showing how we send signals through the ether. Even the soul is a signal being sent through the ether when it journeys back home. But look, this whole image of how it is to fall inside of a black hole is showing you what happens at the middle of the flat earth. When we die, the pull of the North Pole, because your soul is a light being, right? Your soul is a light being. But there's a black hole at the middle of the earth, and light can't escape a black hole. So your soul being a vessel of light, once you get out this body, you're going to go back north and be, pulled into the North Pole like we see here. But you can anchor yourself to the earth and prolong that, is what I'm saying. The journey don't begin till you're ready to release yourself from the earth. And how that plays out on a spiritual level is when we die, our whole lifetimes flash before us. And if we don't have no regrets, we release and say, it is done. Did good, let me go. If we have regrets, that anchor us to the earth and we stick around and eventually we reincarnate here. If we don't make the journey, we miss our portal and it turns into a reincarnation. So, this right here, you need to compare it to this right here is what's happening on a spiritual level at the middle of the earth. So if you look at all of the lines that's coming out of this hole, they resemble the pattern that's on the AE map. You see? Now what I'm doing, I'm showing you why they are pie slices. These are all pie slices pointing into a central hole, and I'm showing you why. This is why if you look at this black hole image. All of these are pie slices as you start at the outer edge. But as you go into the middle, all of these pie slices share this same hole that they all pour down, which is the Santa Claus hat with the dot at the top, because each of these pie slices share this one dot. And that's the doggone, when you cut a pie, all of the slices point at the middle part. But because of that, you get this little dot right here. All of the pie slices point at that little dot. So if you look at each pie slice, it's a Santa Claus hat with a dot at the top. So the god at the North Pole wears a Santa Claus hat. Why? Look at what's happening at the North Pole. Why do the God at the North Pole wear a Santa Claus hat? Look at what's happening. All of the energy is climaxing to a pinnacle that's shared by all of the magnetic ley lines. All roads lead back to the same truth. So each of these are triangles, right, with sharing that one dot at the top. So the whole thing with like a Santa hat in the North Pole, there you go. There you go. All right. Now, why you got these triangles sharing that one dot is because of this. Each of those triangles are, you see they being created right here on the side, but they all share this one little vortex hole. They all pour into that one hole. And that's what we seeing at the middle of the AE map. You need to stick around for part 3. If you like parts 1 and 2, you need to be around for part 3. That's the end of our lecture today. And I thank y'all for tuning in.
BROSANCHEZ, just one who's out there in the fight to teach. BROSANCHEZ, you got the story right, and now I see